point in doubles over the last really week or so, and it's been nice to see that work paying off here in the doubles points.
Yeah, I think we're off to a good start. It's very, very good feeling to be back in the semifinals. I think first and second rounds were both tough matches because, every team here is top 16 team, so need to face a lot of adversity every match, and very happy to advance.
Yeah, I think we have been playing pretty good tennis. I think we showed up the first day and did a good job, and yesterday we improved it. I think our doubles was pretty good, and in singles we all were fighting really hard and giving ourselves the best chances.
There's always a little bit of tension in the start of all these matches, especially when you're going up against capable opponents on the doubles court. Anything can happen. But surely going into these matches with a 1-0 singles lead takes a little bit of pressure off. But we talk, we're going to respond the same way whether we win or lose the doubles point. The job stays the same. Match isn't over, but it is nice having that in the pocket.
Yeah, just getting that points on the board was pretty useful. Walking into singles with a doubles point is always like, it feels a little bit extra good. So yeah, it was great to get the point to start singles with a little bit more confidence.
Virginia's had a great year up to this point already. A lot of good wins. We have a lot of respect for that program, what they do. Very well-coached team. They compete hard. It's really one that we can just get excited about because we know that it's going to be a great battle at the end of the day. Both teams are going to leave it all out there, and one moves on, but it's two quality teams here in the semis.
We don't play them very often, but I mean, we've seen the players. We pretty much know them. So I guess we just mostly need to focus on us and what we do good, just know our strengths and play together as a team, starting with doubles and singles too. And then again, it's going to be a tough match. They're a good top 10 team, so it's going to be a good competition. So yeah, just enjoy the match and hope for the best.
I think it's going to be a hard match. They showed this week that they're willing to fight. They're not going away. So I think it's going to be interesting. We are definitely need to be ready to go from point number one. Just do it for each other, work hard, and keep doing the little things we do in normal days to try to give ourselves the best chance.
If we're fortunate enough to be playing on Tuesday, we'll worry about that then.
It will it will be really cool. We put a lot of work every day in the practice in Athens, so it would just be a really good moment, like for me and my teammates. Just enjoy and just it's the hard work we put every day, and it would be the result.
Yeah, it would mean a lot. We did have a good success in a lot of tournaments, but personally never won indoors. I think we made it to the final one of the years. But to win the whole thing, obviously, it's a different feeling, and to experience that my senior year with my teammates would be a very, very good experience. So there's a lot to play for.
And, yeah, very pleased with how we handled the pressure situations out there. A lot of tension amongst all the courts, a lot of close points, a lot of close sets, and very happy with how we manage all the nerves out there.
Kind of know how we perform in those big moments, and we know that we can really get over the line in those pressure situations. So I think just kind of believing all the way till the end, playing tough point after tough point, and just kind of enjoying it, using our teammates, having fun, kind of helped us get through that one for sure.
I think just the same mentality we had yesterday and that we bring to every match, just fighting hard, like doing our best, like playing every point and having great energy, which I know we're going to do, and just pumping each other up. And yeah, I have a lot of confidence that we'll be able to bring it tomorrow.
So yeah, we're just constantly striving our best to continue to bring championships back home. There's no place like Aggie Land. So many proud Aggies out there for our women's tennis program, and our support is unmatched. So yeah, I just ask for the continued support.
It would mean so much for our team. We've all kind of talked about it. It was kind of the last check mark that we wanted to get done before at least my time is done here. Yeah, it would be so awesome. So we're just gonna value every moment and do the best we can, and hopefully we can at least give ourselves an opportunity to compete for the title. But yeah, it would be so awesome.
I mean, we've never done this before, And I mean, we don't even have an indoors, and just like, I know that it would mean a lot to everyone to be able to lift this trophy and get another national title, and just, it would be a great kind of way to propel our season.
We're moving in the right direction, let's put it that way. We came in and we have an identity, we know what we want it to look like, and you know, playing night one against the hosts here, they had a great turnout, great crowd. Northwestern's doing a tremendous job putting this event on. But yeah, I mean, really we made it a big point in doubles over the last really week or so, and it's been nice to see that work paying off here in the doubles points.
Yeah, I think we're off to a good start. It's very, very good feeling to be back in the semifinals. So I think first and second rounds were both tough matches because, you know, every team here is top 16 team, so need to face a lot of adversity every match, and very happy to advance.
Yeah, I think we have been playing pretty good tennis. I think we showed up the first day and did a good job, and yesterday we improved it. I think our doubles was pretty good, and in singles we all were fighting really hard and giving ourselves the best chances.
There's always a little bit of tension in the start of all these matches, especially when you're going up against capable opponents on the doubles court. Anything can happen. But surely going into these matches with a 1-0 singles lead takes a little bit of pressure off. But we talked, you know, we're going to respond the same way whether we win or lose the doubles point. The job stays the same. Match isn't over, but it is nice having that in the pocket.
Yeah, just getting that point on the board was really useful. Walking into singles with a doubles point is always like, it feels a little bit extra good. So yeah, it was great to get the point to start singles with a little bit more confidence.
Virginia's had a great year up to this point already. A lot of good wins. We have a lot of respect for that program, what they do. Very well-coached team. They compete hard. It's really one that we can just get excited about because we know that it's going to be a great battle at the end of the day. Both teams are going to leave it all out there, and you know, one moves on, but it's two quality teams here in the semis.
We don't play them very often, but I mean, we've seen the players, we pretty much know them. So I guess we just mostly need to focus on us and what we do good, just know our strength and play together as a team, starting with doubles and singles too. And then again, it's going to be a tough match. They're a good top 10 team, so it's going to be a good competition. So yeah, just enjoy the match and hope for the best.
I think it's going to be a hard match. They showed this week that they're willing to fight. They're not going away. So I think it's going to be interesting. We are definitely need to be ready to go from point number one. Just do it for each other, work hard, and keep doing the little things we do in normal days to try to give ourselves the best chance.
If we're fortunate enough to be playing on Tuesday, we'll worry about that then.
It will mean, I mean, it will be really cool. We put a lot of work every day in the practice in Athens, so it would just be a really good moment, like for me and my teammates. Just enjoy and just, I mean, it's the hard work we put every day, and it will be the result.
Yeah, it would mean a lot. We did have a good success in a lot of tournaments, but personally never won indoors.
We started this tournament with 16 of the best teams in the country, but now just 2 remain. In a rematch of last year's NCAA tournament final, it's the Bulldogs of Georgia and the Aggies of Texas A&M. Can Dasha Vidmanova and the Dogs find indoor title number 7, or will Mia Kupris and the Aggies keep the magic flowing? The job's not done yet. It's all led to this, a chance to etch their names in history. And a chance at an ITA Indoor National Championship. And welcome in everyone to Championship Tuesday here at the 2025 Division I Women's National Team Indoor Championships. Alex Gruskin here with Courtney Colton on my side. We have whittled the field down from 16 to our final 2 teams competing, of course, today for the National Indoor Championship title. And best of all, for college tennis fans, we are picking things right where we left them off. For the first time in 14 years, we will have the same National Indoor Final matchup that we had last spring in the NCAA Tournament Final, as of course the Georgia Bulldogs are taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, the match calculus, before we hear from our coach, Coach Mark Bay, who of course has spoken with each of these 2 head coaches before the start of today's match, I ask you, Courtney Colton, what is the thing you are most excited about heading into today's final?
I'm excited for a rematch. Like, what a treat that we get the first rematch in 14 years. In between these 2 programs, they've been so good, and they return a lot of the players that were in that national championship match just a few months ago. That's the crazy part. It was a few months ago, and we're getting it again. Indoors. It was indoors last time for the national championship.
Very well said. Yeah,
So.
it's a fun detail to remember. Rain pushing that match indoors back in May. And look, it's a lot of familiar faces across both rosters. Certainly when you look at the Georgia team, yes, they're doing it without Alex Vetch this week. Yes, they're doing it without Minda Rundorn this week. But Vid Minova, Lapata, Riasco, Grant, familiar faces to college tennis fans everywhere. Similarly on the other side, Stoyana and Kieran, that's probably your best top 2 across college tennis here, maybe men's or women's side this season. And even beyond that, Mia Kupras is back, Luciana Perez is back, Smetanikov is back. I think the most fascinating thing for me is how different the pathway was for each of these 2 teams to get here. Obviously on the A&M side, let's start there. Drama last night as they survived 4-2. On the other side, Georgia was in and out of here 2 hours, less than that yesterday. Courtney, just 2 completely different scripts for these teams.
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw, and exactly to your point, right? Georgia was done so quick, and Georgia probably the little bit of a winner because A&M and Oklahoma went the distance last night. So they're probably feeling a little extra good going into this. We're cheering on for however long that match could go down.
Yeah, I think the best part, too, 6:30 p.m. Central Time start here tonight. None of us had to set an alarm. We could all sleep in. We could all get the rest that after an event like this, a week like this, is so difficult to come across. Of course, before we get to breaking everything down, we want to show you the bracket. We want to show you the lineups. This, of course, how we got here. Georgia 4-0 win over Northwestern, 4-1 win over Auburn, 4-love victory yesterday, again, under 2 hours against Virginia, the A&M side. The 4-0 win over host Illinois in Champaign, pushed by the young Longhorns, 4-2 victory, and then, of course, last night, their 4-2 win. Before we go any further, though, one more time, we want to introduce all of you college tennis fans to tonight's team, so let's start your number 1 overall seed finalists at last year's NCAA tournament. Let's introduce you to the 2025 Georgia Bulldogs. So again, now you've met your Georgia Bulldogs, of course. Our coach, Coach Mark Bay, had the opportunity to speak with Georgia women's tennis head coach Drake Bernstein. He's also had the chance to speak with Mark Weaver. We'll get to Coach Weaver in a moment, but first, introducing tonight, looking for their first national indoor championship. It's your reigning NCAA team champs, the 2025 Texas A&M Aggies.
I wonder why it always seems to rain.
Since I was 16, ain't gon' lie, I've been creeping and hitting. Go X, big X, standing on business. Got him a bag, double up and start giving. That's when they start tripping. I hope that you listen. This grimy, they want how you living. No loving these women, they looking for tricks. Like, where was these folks in that spot with their kitchen? Or where was these folks when my pockets was empty? Where was these folks the long nights I was dealing? How you gon' want what I got and ain't get it? My family gon' call when they broke and I get it. As soon as you tell them no, want you to feel it. Not once did they check on my son and I'm chillin'. Depressed, I can't be with my boy every minute. I fell out with my brother, that hurt my spirit. But we all gotta learn, hope we change and start listening.
Well, they certainly look like defending NCAA champs to me, and of course a thank you to the ITA, a thank you to the athletic departments at each of these programs. We got a lot of good content coming your way, including, again, the opportunity to speak with each of these coaches courtside as they get loose for today's national championship match. Let's hear from head coach Mark Weaver, his thoughts on how the Aggies are feeling headed into today's final.
There's electricity in the air. It is Championship Tuesday. That's got an interesting ring to it. I've never heard Championship Tuesday in college tennis, but it's Championship Tuesday live at the Combe Tennis Center. Coach Mark Weaver, NCAA Championship Coach Mark Weaver in the house. Opportunity now to put another title in the Aggie mantle. How's the team feeling tonight? How are their legs? How's the fitness from last night?
Yeah, we definitely felt it last night. It was a battle. It was a physical war out there, a mental war. The girls are tough. We train very, very hard on the court, in the fitness room, and yeah, we're ready to go. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of stiffness out there perhaps, but the adrenaline will kick in. We had a light hit earlier at 1 o'clock. The girls were hitting great. They actually hit longer than I had planned on them hitting, so I saw no signs of fatigue. It's time to just all lay it out on the line tonight, and the adrenaline will kick in, and I'm ready to play some tennis.
Yeah, I agree. I think your team looks like they're one of the most fit teams in college tennis for sure. So now we're starting this match with this doubles point. Boy, they're splitting two NCAA champions over two positions. So how do you counteract Vidmanova and Mert, two NCAA champions in a doubles point?
Yeah, Georgia's played some great doubles in the recent years, and splitting up two NCAA champions, that's a bit scary there. So we're going to have to play well. We've been fortunate to get the doubles point in each of our matches this season as well. But, indoor tennis doubles, it's kind of who establishes themselves early in the point, who's getting that first serve in, who's attacking the returns and closing in on the net. So, I think who's kind of winning that arm wrestling match early in the points will take the doubles point.
Absolutely. And do you feel like last night was that gut check match that you needed? You had a little bit of a lighter schedule in the beginning of the season, and most certainly got a strong test from a very good Oklahoma team. Do you feel like that was tough enough to get you ready for what you need to do tonight?
I do. We needed that match, and it was similar with the Texas match, but those were the only two matches this season we've been challenged, and you've got to be in those pressure situations to know how to handle that. We've been in those situations and a lot in recent years, but we haven't in quite some time. So I really do believe the last night match, it came down on the wire, and I think it makes it a little bit easier the next time when you have those feelings and emotions. You feel a little bit better about it the next time you get out there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is an NCAA National Indoor Final here in Chicago at Northwestern. Best of luck to Coach Mark Weaver and the Texas A&M Aggies.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Well, there you hear it, Coach Mark Weaver. He says the Aggies are ready. He says they are fit. They are focused. They know they're an opponent. An opponent who, by the way, they faced 4 different times in the 2024 season. Obviously, winning the most important match, that NCAA title match. Courtney, what impressed you most about the Aggies yesterday? What do you think is their best weapon heading into today's final?
their fight. I mean, their backs were against the wall. They won the doubles point. Oklahoma came right out of the gate. Won 2 matches pretty quickly. Got to a 2-1 lead. A&M responded with 2 matches of their own, but they were down in first sets on the other 2 courts. Absolute credit to both Mia Kupris and Daria Smetanikov. They both dug their heels in, split sets. That becomes a whole different match, and that was by far the most impressive thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And by the way, doubles was really good. I think it was 4-all on all 3 courts yesterday between A&M and Oklahoma. A&M getting the wins at 1 and 2. You mentioned it, though. Yes, they had that doubles point. Yes, they had the anchors up top, Stoyana, Kieran, each winning first sets. They lost the first set at the 3 through 6 positions. And yes, Kupris is the one ultimately awarded that 4th point, but to your point exactly, Daria Smetanikov forcing that 3rd set, you could feel it in the moment in this building. That was everything. And talking to Mia Kupris after the match, she was like, yeah, of course I saw that my teammate had forced a 3rd set. Of course I saw I had a little less pressure on my shoulders. Those little things make all the difference, as I'm sure you learned in your playing days.
Yeah, for sure. You know, coaches say don't scoreboard watch, but when it's right on the court next to you, you can't help but feel it. Yeah, I mean, huge credit to Daria Smetanikov. I think she's the unsung hero of that match for A&M by forcing that 3rd set and taking that 2-0 lead there.
Yeah. No, it was so impressive. And by the way, watching Daria Smetanikov backpedal for an overhead, it's just like, come on. That's so what good. It's supposed to look like. But no, the Aggies are ready, and certainly, again, national championship experience under their belts. You could argue they're the front runner. You could argue they're the team everyone's chasing, and no one has chased them more closely than the Georgia Bulldogs, who, of course, you see on your screen getting loose now. Nice to see some smiles on all the faces again. Look, this Georgia team didn't just beat Texas A&M last year, they beat them multiple times in the lead up to that NCAA championship. And to have Vidmanova win an NCAA singles title. Again, she's looking to be the first player this season since Nicole Gibbs to win all 3 singles, doubles, team NCAA titles during her career. You bring in a Lapata, NCAA singles finalist last spring. You have pieces like Riasco and Gigi Grant in their final years on the job. A lot to like about this Georgia team. What stands out most to you?
I'm going to give credit to Sophia Rojas down at 6.
Great
I
call,
think another unsung hero for that team, right? We forget sometimes about the lower half of the lineup. And she's stepped into a position she hasn't been in, and she has won every single match. She's been the clincher in 2 of them. And yesterday just played really definitive tennis. It was really like I'm watching for her.
I think it was 6-2, 6-love for her on that number 6 court. And yeah, again, the match is down low. Gigi was up on Collard 6-love in about 12 minutes and just felt like Georgia built such a big lead, never had to let it go. Of course, the most fascinating part is how do you respond to a lead, a victory like that? Does it bring out even better tennis moving forward? Is that rest of value heading into today? Would you have liked to have been tested a little bit closer? It's an open question. You know who might have answers for us? Head coach Drake Bernstein of these Georgia Bulldogs, who, of course, spoke with Coach Bay. Let's hear from Coach Bernstein how the Dogs are feeling heading into today's final.
Well, we have Coach Drake Bernstein here on Championship Tuesday, National Indoors, Georgia versus Texas A&M. I'm pumped. You and Weaver both look real chill, man, really calm. Are you just keeping it inside?
No, I mean, we're both, as you probably know, we've played each other in this situation before. And, you know, I don't think that anything changes given what round a match is. It's going to be the same stuff from us, and I'm sure the same stuff from them, highly qualified over there. We're certainly excited, but, you know, may not reflect so much in the demeanor.
Is there much of a championship speech needed for a situation like this? Do you have to have poster board material for losing in the NCAA championship? Like, how are you playing the motivation game on a night like tonight?
Yeah, for us, it's just to keep moving in the right direction. We still are in February. It's first week of February. There's a long season ahead. While it's a national championship, we still focused on us. There's more beyond this, whether we win or lose. This is just kind of another step in the right direction.
obviously powerhouse lineup for Texas A&M, particularly at the top with a very strong, front three. Is there a lot more tonight that is players just taking care of what they do as players, or is there some X's and O conversation about, hey, against Kieran this, and hey, against Toyana that? How much of it is X's and O's tonight? How much of it is just doing their thing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's X's and O's. That's what we spent all day on, is preparing for what the actual tennis looks like. At the end of the day, the tennis is going to decide who wins the match, and so we want to be as prepared as we can there. And I think that's what can help take the stress off of the situation when you have clear-cut paths and patterns in the match. Yeah, that's what we're going to try to throw some things at them and throw a couple wrinkles in and see what happens.
Yeah, I think pressure performance is always what sports is about, and clearly we have a little bit of maybe ranking pressure on Georgia and some lineup, on paper positions that might favor Georgia a little bit, and then Texas A&M has the title. They have the title. They have the stamp on their back, and so I love the yin and the yang going into this match, and I'm really excited for it, and obviously all the best to the Georgia Bulldogs tonight. Let's see who wins.
Let's have a good one. Go Dogs.
Well, there you hear it. Coach Bernstein, he and the Dogs ready. Keeping the big picture in mind, of course. It's a long season after this. It's a primarily outdoor season as well, but still, opportunity to compete for a championship, they come few and far between. Maybe not for these two programs, who, again, have played an SEC tournament final, an NCAA final, now at an indoor final, to that resume of a rivalry that is quietly becoming maybe the best and most impactful rivalry in women's college tennis today. All that said, Courtney, as we get ready to wrap our pregame show, get ready for national anthem and the start of today's match, do you have an X factor? Do you have something in particular maybe you'll be watching for from these teams early that will tell to you, maybe can tell to the fans tuning in, hey, this team's got it today, or hey, maybe this team's in trouble?
Doubles. Doubles is so important. We talk about it's one set, no ad. It's quick, it's fast. Whoever comes out quick and fast and gets that doubles point, I think that's going to be a big tell of kind of what's to come in singles.
Yeah, and you see the doubles lineup on your screen. Obviously, we'll get to those matchups shortly. No changes in the lineup for either of these teams heading into today. If you were hoping for an Alex Vecic, Mine Narundorn surprise appearance for the Dogs, sadly, today will not be the day that happens for the Aggies. Why would you change your doubles lineup? They have looked darn good so far, as Coach Weaver, I was going to say Coach Bay, excuse me, as Coach Weaver explained to us. Look, they haven't lost a doubles point either. They know Vidmanova, Mert, they're spread out, but they feel like their best in doubles can beat just about anyone on any given day. And there you see it's all white kits for the Aggies today. The Dogs rocking the all black fit. Aesthetically pleasing matchups. Like, again, that's what you're hoping for, right? From a uniform perspective, I like the coordination across the board. I like the smiles, the early match laughter. What do you think the message is, whether it be from coach to players, from captains to teammates? What's the message in the final few minutes before a match like this begins?
Remember who you are and stick to what you've done. Both programs, even in this early start to spring, have done such great things already, and this run in this tournament, they know what to do. They know how to play, and it's just tap back into that.
No, again, our coach used to always say, guys, the hardest match of the tournament's the semifinal, because the semifinal, you can taste the final, you're thinking about the final, you forget the task at hand, that you got to get to that final first. Once you get to the final, my mindset was always, I say my mindset like I've played in a final like this. I haven't. I mean, final or two in my day, not quite at this level, but at that point, you've reached the finals. Roll the balls out. Play some tennis. You've controlled what you can control. And, again, the key is be loose, be fast, be free, be aggressive. Let's play some spectacular tennis. As, again, you saw how each of these teams have gotten here. Drama ahead. As, again, 5th time since the start of last season. 5th time these two programs have gone head-to-head. I imagine that's the most of any two programs, probably across Division I women's college tennis. You see they're getting set for the anthem. That means it's time for us to wrap our pregame show. Final word goes to you, Courtney Colton. Any other things, any other thoughts you got to get out of your chest just as we get amped for the action to begin?
Just ready. I'm just ready for it to start. Let's do this.
Let's do this thing. Well, again, action coming up here in about 2 minutes. They'll get the doubles lineups announced. They'll be rocking and rolling out on court. We've got some intro videos for you, and then, of course, we will kick off our coverage. It's the 2025 ITA Division I Women's National Team Indoor Championships. Georgia taking on Texas A&M. Don't you go anywhere. We'll have action from the first ball to last coming up in about 3 minutes.
Up to this point already, a lot of good wins. We have a lot of respect for that program, what they do. Very well-coached team. They compete hard. It's really one that we can just get excited about because we know that it's going to be a great battle at the end of the day. Both teams are going to leave it all out there, and one moves on, but it's two quality teams here in the semis.
We don't play them very often, but I mean, we've seen the players. We pretty much know them. So I guess we just mostly need to focus on us and what we do good, just know our strengths and play together as a team, starting with doubles and singles too. And then again, it's going to be a tough match. They're a good top 10 team, so it's going to be a good competition. So yeah, just enjoy the match and hope for the best.
I think it's going to be a hard match. They showed this week that they're willing to fight. They're not going away. So I think it's going to be interesting. We are definitely need to be ready to go from point number one. Just do it for each other, work hard, and keep doing the little things we do in normal days to try to give ourselves the best chance.
If we're fortunate enough to be playing on Tuesday, we'll worry about that then.
It will it will be really cool. We put a lot of work every day in the practice in Athens, so it would just be a really good moment, like for me and my teammates. Just enjoy and just it's the hard work we put every day, and it will be the result.
Yeah, it would mean a lot. We did have a good success in a lot of tournaments, but personally never won indoors. I think we made it to the final one of the years. But to win the whole thing, obviously, it's a different feeling, and to experience that my senior year with my teammates would be a very, very good experience. So there's a lot to play for.
And, yeah, very pleased with how we handled the pressure situations out there. A lot of tension amongst all the courts.
We started this tournament with 16 of the best teams in the country, but now just 2 remain. In a rematch of last year's NCAA tournament final, it's the Bulldogs of Georgia and the Aggies of Texas A&M. Can Dasha Vidmanova and the Dogs find indoor title number 7, or will Mia Kupris and the Aggies keep the magic flowing? The job's not done yet. It's all led to this, a chance to etch their names in history. And a chance at an ITA Indoor National Championship. Well, it was a long 2 minutes. Welcome back in, everyone, as we get ready for first ball, the last coverage of the 2025 Division I Women's National Team Indoor Championships. Alex Gruskin here with Courtney Colton. Just 2 teams remaining competing for the national championship. It's the last 2 teams we saw compete for a national championship, as again, Texas A&M takes on Georgia in all SEC final, the first time in 14 years, of course. We've seen an NCAA tournament final translate into a subsequent national indoor final. Jitters, excitement, adrenaline, some back sweat already. I mean, Courtney Colton, we're rocking and rolling. You ready for tonight's championship action to begin?
I couldn't be more ready.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Certainly, of course, appreciate all of you joining us on our Cracked Rackets YouTube channel. I thank you, of course, to the ITA for allowing our team to shine a spotlight on this action. Look, you see the game faces on all of these players. Again, 5th time since the start of last season these 2 programs have gone head-to-head. Now, it's a bunch of new matchups, of course, but you like that additional flavor, a little different spice to this one. Courtney, Do I dare ask you for prediction? Do you have an inclination one way or another? Or, again, at least maybe as it relates to this doubles point, who's it more important for to start?
I think it's going to be more important for Texas A&M. UGA has looked so impressive in their doubles this tournament. They went with a completely new lineup post that UNC loss, and it's really paid off for them. It's continually gotten better, and they've really come out hard in each of those matches. I mean, we saw with UVA, they were done, I think, in their doubles match, and before we could sit down to watch it. Texas A&M also hasn't dropped a doubles point, so I think it would be really important for them. I think singles gets interesting if they get it. I think singles is interesting either way, to be fair.
No, absolutely. It'll be a fun one, and here we see Stoyana to serve first on court one. Folks, let's play some tennis. Of course, best news for college tennis fans everywhere. We're going to get to see the two best players in the country go head-to-head twice today. As, of course, for the Aggies, senior Mary Stoyana serving on the far side. She's partnered with sophomore Luciana Perez. They're taking on the all-senior pairing. It's Dasha Vidmanova, Mel Riasco. Of course, for these two, Riasco, Vidmanova playing once again with one another. They spent their first 2 seasons together, whether it be 3 doubles, 2 doubles. Now they're at the top spot. And again, you could put Dasha with anyone, with me, Westhoff. I mean, you and Dasha would actually be a good team.
Yeah, Dasha has looked every part of one half of that NCAA doubles champion this tournament. She's just been on top of the net. She's great from the baseline. Like, what can't she do?
What can't she do indeed? Keeps that ball low center, just nothing. Either Perez, Stoyana to work with, and again, the moment they pop something low up in the center, Mel Riasco's there to clean things up. So it's early break point chances for the Dogs as they try to establish a little tempo here on one. Little left court luck, they'll take it. Is it too aggressive to say, hey, let's hit every ball through Perez?
I don't think so. I mean, Stoyana's just so good, and we know how good her volleys are, and Perez is obviously a good player in her own right, but more known for her baseline prowess than necessarily her at net abilities. So I don't think it's too aggressive.
Points fought off. It's an early deciding point coming up on court number 1, and again, just trying to set a tempo. It's actually an early deciding point on court number 2 as well, so perhaps we'll have time to race to it. Just what the doctor ordered for the Aggies. Continue to play their best with backs against the wall. Meanwhile, you see the deciding point here. Gigi Lapata. It's a Georgia break on 2. Again, Jermina Grant, the senior, partnered with now junior. That's weird to say. Anastasia Lapata. They're taking on the all-junior pairing. Mia Kupris, Darius Smetanikov. Each of these teams winners in yesterday's semifinal. There you see, of course, coaching staffs. Tommy Milnikov. Nope, excuse me. That was Texas A&M Associate Head Coach James Wilson. Will Reynolds, assistant coach for the Dogs, on court 2 here as well. Of course, head coaches again. Head coach Mark Weaver, year number 10 at the helm of the Yankees. Led them to their first NCAA team title in program history last season. On the other side, Drake Bernstein, year number 2. He's already won NCAA singles, NCAA doubles, made an NCAA team final, now an indoor final as well. Oh, thunderous.
Lapata just so good from the baseline. I really like this pairing of Lapata and Grant. Lapata just has such an ability to just hit great, consistent ground strokes, setting up Gigi Grant at the net. Her volleys and doubles knowledge is unmatched, I think, by anyone on any of these 3 courts. Yeah, it's a really fun pairing, of course. On the other side, you have a top 200 doubles player in the world in Texas A&M's Mia Kupras, who, of course, top 5 of the country for much of last season with Mary Stoyana. Got to spread the love, though, in the doubles lineup, right? You get a lot of benefit from spreading the love. I mean, we've seen it for both teams this year.
All right, 30 love here. We got to jump over to court number 3. It is an early break point chance for the Aggies. The Aggies actually have break points on 1. Down a break here early, but opportunity to get things right back. Ooh, this is a lineup shift. Lexington Reed in, Jeanette Morales out for the Aggies. Must have been a late submission by coach. Again, get to say those magical words. I could have done that. The all-frame team for Kieran early. The right move, though.
Yeah, we love the aggression, love the move forward, love the pressure. Excellent job by Georgia to stay in that point, force one more ball.
Again, for the Dogs here, it's the sophomore Sigil Mert, NCAA doubles champion last season, partnered with the freshman Hayden Mulberry. Right back to the junior Kieran they go here on return. To no avail. Again, the right play, the wrong execution. So they trade gifts. I'll miss an overhead, but you miss the swinging volley. Okay, deal.
Now we're done.
Yeah, exactly. So Aggies break back for 1-all here on court number 3. Now we do have break leads again. A&M up quickly, 2-love on 1. Aggies the quick 2-love lead on 2. Let's go back over to court number 2. It's interesting with the inclusion of Lexington Reed, the double switch there. I thought maybe you'd lean Dogs on court 3 now. But I don't know, man. Every set's pretty good.
It's definitely a dogfight, no pun intended.
Quick hands there. That's the Kupras you've come to expect to see. Of course, these two, Kupras, Matanikov, they were on court till what, 10:05 yesterday, battling to grind out A&M's 4-2 victory over Oklahoma. How much juice do they have left in the tank? And Courtney, you've obviously been in this situation. Matches back-to-back days, even a fourth match in a 5-day span. How real is the emotional, physical hangover? I feel like there's a line of argumentation. You guys are all so fit. Like, that's not the issue. It's the mental taxation more than anything.
Absolutely. And then also being in your head about how bad you want it the next day. It's like, great, we got through that, but I really want this to happen today. And, you know, great teams have an ability to let that previous match go, reset for the next one. That was always something Jeff McDonald would tell us, you know, it's another great day for a match in Central Texas. It's another great day for a match in Northern Illinois. An inside-out volley, forehand volley. I don't see those often, but it's really nice. It's kind of fun.
Exactly how Coach would have drawn it up. Called long by Smetanikov, the immediate challenge from Gigi. And there's the fist pump. It's an overrule again. Electronic line calling in effect here this week. As you see again, the senior fired up. Chance to play for her first team national championship. Again, 6 indoor crowns for this Georgia women program, the last coming, of course, 2019. First break point fought off. It's a race to 1, then we'll come back for the deciding point, but it is a deuce point break point chance, and Dasha Vidmanova connects.
That's a great return.
So as we race back to court number 2 for the deciding point, Vidmanova Riasco back on serve. 1-2 here, openings. I said opening set. There's only one set.
Yeah, that's the crux of it, isn't it? It's just the one set.
Exactly.
You got to get moving and grooving.
Opening set of action. Meanwhile, again, deciding point. Here's the Aggies try to get on the board. Gigi's everywhere. Show you the aggression one more time. It was no hesitation there, Courtney. Immediate pinch. It pays dividends.
Yeah, that was a perfect return from Lapata. Exactly what we kind of hope to see from this duo. Lapata placing returns and Grant going and moving.
I want to play that one more time just to show you. Watch the Drake Bernstein fist pump. Head coach's fist is in the air as he sees the poach coming. There you see him on the sideline. It's immediate.
He knows his players and he trusts his players.
Absolutely, as you see him continuing. He's in a ready stance. That's an athletic position from Coach Bernstein, as, of course, the Dogs 3-love up on 1. They're actually up a break 2-1 on 3. 3-love on 2 here, excuse me. Back on serve on 1. Let's go over to court number 3. New faces, new places, 2 freshmen on court. It's the biggest unknown in a matchup that, again, about as well known as you could have in college tennis. feels a little on her still. Feels like a nervy start. And the reason I say that, Courtney, I don't hear any go Aggies. I don't hear any go Dogs. Not at least in the way you're accustomed to hearing the passion from these two programs, these two fan bases.
Yeah, to your point, Alex, especially on this court we're watching, we got 2 freshmen in the lineup making this doubles appearance. Lexington Reed, a brand new piece we haven't gotten to see in the doubles lineup. So you kind of want to get that energy up for them, because I can only imagine the nerves that they're especially feeling.
Very well said. And speaking of which, more break point chances. This time it's for the Aggies to get on the board here on court number 2. Oh, half an inch. But I will say, in a match tense thus far, the player playing most freely is Gigi Grant.
Which is absolutely what Georgia wants to see, right? She is, when I say probably the best doubles acumen on any of these courts. I know, again, respect to Cooper as being top 200 in the world, but you watch Gigi Grant play, you know she knows what she's doing. And if she's playing the most free, if I'm head coach Drake Bernstein, I'm feeling real good about number 2 doubles.
Absolutely. By the way, Aggies broke back 2-all now on court number 1, 2-all on court number 3 as well. Oh, come on. Not exactly known for her prowess at the net. Lapata with a gem.
Sometimes the benefit of your partner playing loose is that you start to play loose. Like, well, if you're doing stuff, I'll do stuff.
Crazy to think it's a match point this early, this quickly, but 20 minutes in, it's been all one team here on 2. Well, there's Cooper showing off the forehand return, ripped with authority. A&M on the board. 1-3 here on court number 2, so over to court 3 we go. Fundamentally sound. Middle solves the riddle.
The play you want to see from Lexington Reed starting in this doubles. Again, we haven't seen her in any of these doubles matches prior, so I'd like to see her getting some of the rust off.
Yeah, that'll work. Ace T from Kieran, a potently powerful player to have at the number 3 doubles position. As you see the changeover on court number 1, Perez Stoyana, 3-2 lead there. Back over to Kieran we go. Game point chances as the Aggies look to take their first lead here of the set. Not yet.
It's a great return.
Were they the cleanest volleys? Absolutely not. But she made all three. And as you pointed out earlier, Courtney, Lexington Reed just working her way in, adjusting to the nerves. It's an A&M hold for 3-2 on serve. On courts 1 and 3. Let's go to the sandwich in the middle between these two courts. Again, 3 double sets played simultaneously. Whichever team can capture 2 of the 3 sets. Going to take a 1-love lead into our 6 singles matches. All of those, of course, 2 out of 3 sets. And worth 1 to the overall scoreboard. Pretty simple. You win doubles, you're up 1-0. You need only 3 singles victories. You drop it, you got to find 4 with margins these thin. It is a pivotal doubles point.
That's excellent playing from Gigi Grant. Making a couple loves, making a couple plays. He's doing an excellent job with those volleys, just not much he could do there.
Dogs just lingering. And so all of a sudden what felt like a routine service game for Mia Kupris takes us to a deciding point here. Of all the teams, it does feel like this Georgia 2 doubles team executing most freely here from the start.
That's a volley that they're going to want back. Just raise it wide. Great move by Smetana, but just not quite executing there. Georgia will take that 4-1 lead.
Perfectly said. Right intent, wrong execution. Double break again. 4-1 lead for the Dogs. 3-all on court number 1. Let's go back over to court number 3. As we do that, let's bring in our coach, the coach himself, Mark Bay. He's on the sidelines. He's down court level. You want to hear his reflections, his keys so far. What has he seen here in doubles?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final. The tension's so thick you can cut it with a knife. Teams are nervous. Georgia has some separation and some breaks early, but Cleveland looking to get it done. 9 out of the first 12 games across all 3 courts were breaks. There's some nerves out here. The teams are starting to hold and settle in now. Let's see what happens here at the back end of these first sets.
Perfectly put. A thank you to Coach Bay. It's good to know 9 out of 12 games break so far. 9 of the first 12,
I think we felt that.
Yeah.
But to get the actual number is, yeah, definitely some nerves. Again, we haven't been really hearing much from them.
All I could think is, wow, he's paying that close of attention, nerd. No, of course, that's why we have to have the coach with us. Observations like that crucial as you see Georgia game point chances to level things here on 3, excuse me. I call it 1 because it's being played on court 1 here in the Combe Tennis Center. Ball rolling behind the net here out of your camera view, so let called. That'll work. Mulberry makes easy work on the overhead put away. 3-all here on court number 3. We go over to court number 2. As you see, they're on a changeover at 1. 4-3 on serve. Perez Stoyana leading. Meanwhile, it's not a full-on red flag. It's not a full-on red alert. Yellow flag is up, though. Kupris, Smetanikov playing the late matches that they did. Is this just an emotional hangover here to start doubles?
Well, we saw them almost dig back into it, right? They saved a couple game points to even get that first game on the board and had game point chances to make it 3-2 and just not quite converting. So exactly to your point, I'm not sounding the alarm yet on them. But want them to get a little more momentum back in this match, and that one save of game point will definitely help them.
Just not the spot to target. LaPlata, Grant pushing forward. It was a heck of a lob from Mia Kupris. They found some offensive positioning, but Smetanikov unable to put her volley away. Gigi Grant does. Georgia holds for 5-1. They're a game away from a statement of a first set here on 2.
Yeah, they've just played really clean doubles here.
Really
on 2.
clean. This has been the one court where we've seen the same sort of execution we've seen all week long. And I got 2 letters for you. GG.
GG.
Jeremina Grant. Playing with the passion you'd hope your senior brings to a national championship match. Really, really impressive.
Oh, she's just so good. I love her doubles, and she's playing exactly the way Georgia would want her to be playing. She has just come out. She's loose. Makes LaPlata loose. Again, just really clean doubles here at 2.
All right, well, that's something. Might as well take some cuts. Try to get loose, find some confidence heading into singles, because 3 more match points here. This one feels decided. Well, look, when the kids say GG, they mean good game. When we say GG, we mean Jeremina Grant. She has brought her best to start this championship match. Grant, LaPlata, breadstick on the board, Courtney. 6-1 set to the Dogs here on court number 2.
is absolute clean playing. I mean, if you want a lesson on good clean doubles, you watch that match again. I have no notes for Georgia.
A job well done. So again, we got 2 matches remaining. Georgia needs 1. A&M needs them both.
Take a 5-4 lead now. On 1.
5-4 lead indeed on court number 1, so we will go full screen over to court number 3.
Excellent dig from freshman Hayden Mulberry there.
Worth noting when these 2 teams faced off last season, 2-2 overall split. Team that won the doubles point ultimately 3-1 overall. Georgia dropping the doubles point but beating the Aggies in their SEC regular season matchup. If you remember that one, Dasha Vidmanova, of course, coming back from 5-1 in the 3rd to knock off Stoyana, clinch the win. If we get a 10th of the drama from that match, we're in good hands today. Either way, you win that point twice. Pivotal deciding point as they're out of the chair on 1, so we're going to go back to the split screen. Why she's an NCAA doubles champion.
My exact thought.
And the smile on Coach Bernstein's face says it all. Playing to win in the biggest moment. Hold 4-4 all. Let's go over to court number 1. 5-4 right now. 4-5, excuse me. Vidmanova serving, but 40 love after Riasco. A beautifully knocked off overhead. Swinging volley from Dasha does the job. 4-all, 5-all. Again, Aggies need them both. Georgia just needs the one. We'll go back to the double box. It's swing time. These are those 10-minute stretches that ultimately define a national championship match like this. Aggies too good at the number 2 spot. A&M a little bit of sleep at the wheel as well, but 4-all, 5-all, teeth are sunk into these 2 sets. Oh. And Riasco's playing some ball here today.
That's exactly the way Georgia's going to want to play on 1, kind of attack through Perez and look for their opportunities to move forward as a team.
Who's more nervous, player or coach?
Coach for sure.
Look now, it's a love 30 look in the service game of Luciana Perez, and that court right beneath our broadcast booth. It's a very, very clear strategy. To your point, Georgia's playing everything through Perez. Aggies say, that's fine, we're parking the bus on the Riasco corner, and right now it's advantage Riasco.
Is just upped her level, especially as we've gotten a little tighter in this. So huge credit to her. She's doing an excellent job doing her part. Forces an error there to set up quadruple break point.
So we're going to go full screen to it. Dogs a definitive breadstick of a set on 2. And now Dasha says, take that.
You can feel the heat from up here on that forehand.
Needed heat on a chilly winter day here in Evanston. Of course, a thank you to Northwestern for hosting us. As we show you one more time, it's a Dasha dash. And with it, the Georgia Dogs serving for the set 6-5. There you see, I got to be honest, love the crowd here today. Looking out to my right, fully stocked set of bleachers. Credit again to this Northwestern program, a credit of course to the ITA staff. That's why we moved this tournament final to Tuesday here, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You got time to get here, got time to get back home before the alleged storm hits. Only storm hitting tonight, of course, the storm out on court. Courtney Colton as Georgia will serve for the doubles point.
I'm ready for this crowd to start getting loud now. Now you're here. Let's get into it.
Nonpartisan crowd, I would say so far. They're here to see tennis more than Dogs or Aggies. But to your point, yeah, get active, crowd. Sure. By the way, Aggies did hold for 5-4. If you need scoreboard updates, just check the bottom of your screen. Westhoff's got you covered, courtesy of our friends at Ion Court.
Again, huge shout out to Riasco. She is playing some ball. I mean, we know Dasha's good. We know Riasco's good.
No, this is as well as I've seen Mel play dubs in some time.
Absolutely.
Hard to imagine the Dogs wanted any other matchup than this. Again, 3-0 against the Aggies last year until that NCAA final. They've got match points now for a doubles point. Doubles point to the Dogs. 6-1 on court number 2 from Lapata and Gigi, and then it's Vidmanova, Riasco. 7-5 set on the top spot. So the first pendulum swing headed the way of the Georgia Bulldogs. And by the way, just a mental note, they've got 4 seniors on this roster. Only 3 of them healthy, able to play. It's the 3 seniors, Gigi, Vidmanova, Riasco. That is purpose. That is a team on a mission that is a team with a 1-love lead. Courtney Colton, your thoughts to what we saw on that doubles point?
Georgia just came out and executed again. I've said this repeatedly. Their doubles has just gotten better every match, and we saw it here again today, again on court 2. They just played probably the best doubles of the tournament. That was just clean execution, get us off to a quick start. Dasha and Mel do an excellent job getting back into their match, and huge credit to Riasco. She played some good doubles, and they come out with the doubles points exactly the way they want to start.
No, and look, I'm sure Coach Weaver, it's the message, hey, every single team has to go through some adversity. You're never going to make it through a season without dropping a doubles point and finding a way back with victory. That's just the name of the game in college tennis. Now, before we go to the coach, Mark Bay, who I know is about to speak with Drake Bernstein, I ask you first, Courtney. Let's start on the A&M side. What's the message from Coach Weaver to his girls as they get ready for the start of singles?
You drop it, let it go, let's rebound. We know how to compete. We've had our backs against the wall before. No big deal. We've got this.
Yeah. Dare I say you evoke a little Taylor Swift. Let's shake it off. Moving forward. On the other side, Coach Bernstein, you're up 1-0. How do you avoid complacency? How do you make sure your dogs play with that same urgency from the start of singles?
Same idea. You just remind it, you got to drop it, you got to let it go, right? It's happened. We got to move on. Start the same way we've started every other singles in this tournament. They've done such a good job. Each match just getting better at their single starts. So, yeah, just drop that doubles point. It's over. It's happened. That's great. Let's get out there. Let's get some first sets.
Absolutely. Well, of course, before we get to the start of singles, let's hear from Georgia women's tennis head coach Drake Bernstein, his thoughts on a well-played doubles point for the Dogs.
Well, obviously it's a long way to go, but that's a good feeling to get that doubles point under your belt. Number 1 started off a little nervous. It got broken early. Number 3 had a break early. All of a sudden, everything tightened up. How'd you guys get over the finish line in dubs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they had a great break there at 5-all, but I think 2 getting off the court quickly plays a big role in adding pressure to the other 2 courts. But I think it was clean. It wasn't perfect, but we played together, we stayed together, and we're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. So now going into the singles, obviously being up 1 is a wonderful thing, but you have to be ready for this team to put on a big surge in the first sets here.
Yeah.
How are your girls going to handle this initial surge from Texas A&M in singles?
Yeah, we're just ready for an all-out battle. We know it's going to be a long night here. Nothing's going to come easy on any of these courts, hopefully for them and for us. It's just, again, enjoying the stage and embracing it and having some fun out here.
Well, most certainly you guys had fresher legs than an earlier night, so hopefully you're ready to go as long as it takes. Best of luck to the Dogs.
Thanks, go Dogs.
Well, the best part about the Coach Bay analysis gives us a little recap of what we saw in the doubles. To his point, slow start for both of these teams, but in the end, Dogs 6-1 at 2, 7-5 at that top spot. Courtney Colton, your reaction to our first 45 minutes here of our championship match?
That the doubles lineup changes that Georgia has made is paying off. Clearly, they know what they're doing. We got to let them cook. Let them do their stuff. They came out. They played really good, again, on court 2. That really sets the tone for the match. And then extra bonus on court 1, getting their teeth back into that match. Again, a little dicey, but those last 2 games were definitive for Georgia.
No, absolutely. By the way, that phone you saw, the phone of our super producer, Daniel Westoff, rocking and rolling, trying to get everything set for singles. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, absolutely, again, just execution in particular. I just keep thinking about one name, Gigi, Jeremina Grant, who just brought her best unequivocally from the start. It just felt like she was able to play with freedom, with aggression. In a way, a lot of the other players out on court, you could argue maybe, I'm doing quick math in my head, 4 times 3 is 12. We'll say 11. The other 11 players on court, maybe they just felt the championship moment a little bit more. Still very speculative, and certainly all that speculation is fun, but the best part about a day like today, we get to roll the balls out. We get to see who wants to take this title for themselves. And one more time, as we get ready for the start of singles, we want to introduce you to each of these teams. Let your fans know who you're cheering for today. First and foremost, up 1 love coming out of doubles, your 2025 Georgia Bulldogs.
That's just how
Ayşegül Mert, Istanbul, Turkey, sophomore. Go Dogs.
Anastasia Lopata, junior, Kyiv, Ukraine. Go Dogs.
Sofia Rojas, Sarasota, Florida, junior. Go Dogs.
Mariasco, Quito, Ecuador, senior, and Go Dogs.
Alexandra Vecic, Stuttgart, Germany, junior. Go Dogs.
Dasha Vidmanova, Prague, Czech Republic, senior. Go Dogs.
Hayden Mulberry, Marietta, Georgia, freshman. Go Dogs.
Mine Aaron Dorn, Bangkok, Thailand, senior. Go Dogs.
Guillermina Grant, Montevideo, Uruguay, senior. Go Dogs.
Jared Chaplin, associate head coach, University of Georgia, India.
Will Reynolds, assistant coach, University of Georgia.
Drake Bernstein, head coach, University of Georgia.
Well, once again, you've gotten the opportunity to meet your Georgia Bulldogs. Now we're just about ready for the start of singles. We got a long way to go, though. So before we get to any of that action, Down Love 1, can they find that same effort they found last night, facing a little bit of scoreboard pressure? We'll find out if they are the defending champions we see on paper. Certainly, it's time to introduce your 2025 Texas A&M Aggies.
I wonder why it always seems to rain.
Since I was 16, ain't gon' lie, I've been creeping and hitting. Go X, big X, standing on business. Got him a bag, double up and start giving. That's when they start tripping. I hope that you listen. Just grinding, they want how you living. No loving these women, they looking for tricks. Like, where was these folks in that spot with their kids? Or where was these folks when my pockets was empty? Where was these folks the long nights I was dealing? How you gon' want what I got and ain't get it? My family gon' call when they broke and I get it. As soon as you tell them no, want you to feel it. Not once did they check on my son and I'm chillin'. Depressed, I can't be with my boy every minute. I fell out with my brother, that hurt my spirit. But we all gotta learn, hope we change and start listening.
Mary Stoyana, senior, Southbury, Connecticut, Giga Maggies.
Jeanette Morales, Houston, Texas, senior, Giga Maggies.
Kania Kupras, Edmonton, Canada, junior, Giga Maggies.
Nicole Kieran, junior, Rishon LeZion, Israel, Go Farmers.
Lizanne Boyer, junior, Dallas, Texas, Giga.
Lexington Reed, freshman, Orlando, Florida, Giga Maggies.
Darius Montonikov, junior, Marlboro, New Jersey, Giga Maggies.
Avery Escobar, junior, Austin, Texas, Giga Mags.
Luciana Perez, sophomore, Lima, Peru,
Giga Mags.
James Wilson, associate head coach, Bernie, Texas, Giga Mags.
Tali Melikov, assistant coach, Winnipeg, Canada, Giga Mags.
Mark Weaver from Shreveport, Louisiana, head coach at Texas A&M University, Giga Maggies.
We will certainly find out again what these Aggies are made of. Down Love 1. And this is the matchup we've all been waiting for. The matchup I think every fan in college tennis wants to see. They're 1-3 in the current rankings, but they're the top two players. It's senior Mary Stoyana taking on senior Dasha Vidmanova. Oh, I could watch just this for the next 2 hours.
It's definitely an exciting matchup, and we didn't really quite get it in the fall in the way we were hoping, so kind of exciting to get it here.
You're absolutely right. And I think the tennis gods, they didn't have them play in the fall as their way of saying, look, you're going to get it at least 3 times, maybe 4. Just 2 poor choices from Stoyana to start. That's all Vidmanova needs. Cannot give her a window like that. She breaks, she leads 1-love. Of course, before we get into showing you all the courts, let's show you our matchups. Here tonight, it's the same singles matchups we've seen. There we go. Same singles matchups we've seen all week long for these two sides. Vidmanova versus Stoyana, the top spot. Again, we could spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours I'd watch it 3 out of 5. Of course, the number 2 spot, last year's finalist, Anastasia Lapata, taking on the big hitting junior, Nicole Kieran. The contrast of styles there, mwah, just beautiful. Of course, court number 3, the senior Riasco versus the junior Kupris. You've got the sophomore Mert taking on sophomore Perez, senior Gigi Grant taking on the junior Smetanikov, and then the new faces to this matchup. Sophia Rojas, the junior, the transfer from Oklahoma State, taking on freshman Lexington Reed. As we get back to the action, Courtney Colton, any of those matchups in particular outside of one catch your attention?
Oh, number 2's been on my radar since I saw that this matchup was coming. That's probably the one I would park at and watch, maybe even more than one. I think the contrast in styles, they've both been really playing some of their best tennis, and I think that's going to be a really interesting match. I don't know who I go with there.
Looking at the matchups between these two. Interesting. Last year, these teams again played 4 times. These two played 3 times. 1-1-1 overall. Stoyana, a straight set win in the NCAA tournament final indoors. Vidmanova again was 5-1 down in the 3rd when they played in the dual match season. Worked her way all the way back. 7-6, she took it to clinch the win. Their other unfinished match, 6-all in the 3rd. National indoors last season. So yeah, this one's going to be fun. As we lock in here for a moment, just getting all of our cameras set. I promise we'll get to our usual rundown. Of course, it's a different Dasha. Just moves forward in a way maybe she didn't used to. Of course, here's a crazy stat for you. Vidmanova, since the start of last summer, 40-9 on the ITF Pro Circuit.
That's a joke.
Quarterfinals are further at 9 different events, 5 finals, 4 titles. And by the way, that doesn't include her run to the NCAA title back in November as well. Not bad.
It's okay.
I think the double fault there was just to prove, no, but I am human.
Yeah, despite the record, you know. Just like y'all.
No, and again, the most impressive thing I think for Georgia this week, still no junior Alex Vecic. Senior Minor Rundorn out as well, and yet they've dropped a total of 1 point collectively coming into this final.
They've been absolutely dominant, and again, they've gotten better each match. I think that's the dead horse I keep beating, but they really have just gotten better in each and every match that they've played here.
Vidmanova holding 4-2 love. By the way, A&M loses tonight. Hypothetically, it means we're not going to have an undefeated champion here in 2025 come May, as again, Georgia took a loss a couple weeks ago 4-3 to UNC. Aggies might be our last remaining undefeated team at the top of the rankings right now. I'm certain I'm missing someone out in California. There's probably some school in Nebraska, Idaho killing it, and I apologize for overlooking you and your national championship chances. But those are the sort of little fun facts I'm always monitoring for, Courtney. It's really hard to go undefeated.
Well, those are the storylines that you're seeing in this, but I don't think we've really seen a team go undefeated. I mean, we saw Oklahoma State attempt it last year, and it
Georgia
maybe
Bulldogs
it backfired on them.
Undefeated going into the 2019 NCAA final. They won this event. They got knocked out, of course, by Stanford in that final. I think they were the closest. UNC 2021 made the semis. I get bored on weekends. That's just, I read through the record books, Courtney, in case you were curious.
Just like casual light reading. Let me just check in on some stats I need to throw down in this broadcast.
I read the latest James Patterson novel, and it was just so great. No, yeah, I'm going through the stat books.
I think to your point, though, about that stat, I think there's a lot of teams. I remember Texas when they won their national championship, they almost credited their loss in the finals of indoors for that, to kind of light that fire. So there's something to kind of losing that match to be ready for that finals in May.
Finally, Stoyana stepping into something. 15-all. Here's, by the way, Dogs up to early break leads on 4 different courts. 1, 2, 4, and 6. It is all Georgia with 2 love leads. We'll get to them in a moment here. It's just a different Dasha. That forehand, she'd hit it maybe once every 12 points.
Now she's just gripping and ripping.
It's there for her. Now that's the side that will also sit short. That's the side that there will be the miss hit every so often, but then she'll do that. First challenge employed here by Stoyana. Chair umpire confirms, and there you can see the line technology. Woo! Mary says, hey, don't forget who I am. Holds 4-1-2 as again early singles action. We're going to check in with our coach in a moment here, see what Coach Bay sees as the keys to the singles session. In the meantime, over to court 2 we go. Time to run through our introductions. Court number 2, it is a fast start for the reigning NCAA. That's not true. We played a fall NCAA championship, but the 2024 NCAA singles finalist junior Anastasia Lapata quick 3-love lead here on her fellow junior Nicole Kieran. And you mentioned it earlier, but one more time, Courtney, why does this match in particular stand out to you?
They've both been so good. They have contrasting styles, but they've both been really on their game. Again, I think Nicole Kieran's probably the only one person in NCAA tennis that can hit through Lapata. She's got just the raw power in her game to be able to do that, but Lapata is so good defensively, and we've seen her improve her offense, which just makes her ability to just be rock solid in ground strokes more devastating to be on the other side of. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. A 3-love lead for Lapata, but 40-love game point chances for Nicole Kieran.
does get on the board. Want to go to a little bit of a split screen here. First off, we're going to go to court number 3, show you the action. We also, though, want to hear from our coach, Coach Mark Bay. He's got his keys to the singles session. Coach, what are you thinking as we approach the meat of this championship match?
Well, oh my gosh, what a doubles point. A little bit of nerves there in the beginning, but Georgia was able to get it done there at number 1. Dominant performance at 2. Going into the singles, there's some very close matchups, incredibly close. Number 1 versus number 3 in the nation. What a popcorn match at number 1. Obviously, number 2 with Lapata and Kieran is going to also be a lot of fireworks. Texas A&M is going to probably have to try to do a lot of damage at the top of the lineup at 1, 2, and 3, and maybe try to get Smetanikov down at 5 to try to get their road to 4. Georgia, really strong points at 4 and 6 with Merton Rojas, and just need one more to get the job done. It's going to be very good. Looking forward to it, and obviously we're going to test the fitness from Texas A&M last night, who finished much later, and see if Georgia can handle the pressure and obviously be able to defend winning that doubles point and get to 4 and win the title tonight.
Thank you, as always, to Coach Bay. Why do I love working with him so much, Courtney? Few, if anyone, match my enthusiasm, my intensity. You can see it on his face. Man is amped to cover some championship tennis. Yeah,
absolutely.
As you see, we head over to court number 3. Mel Riasco, senior, off-season surgery. Still working her way back into form, and if you're doing match calculus at home, this is a must-have for Texas A&M with Coopers here, the junior, at 3.
I agree completely, Alex.
She's already up a break quickly, 3-1. Of course, last night's hero, delivering the 3-set victory over Mew. Provided that 4th point in the 4-2 win over Oklahoma. Call confirmed by the chair, but Riasco a quick challenge. Call confirmed. And again, we've talked about it. It's the certainty, right, Courtney? Can you imagine? Again, you've been here in these fights. If you had a computer to turn to say, hey, this is the deciding thing. This will choose whether it's in or not. Just you don't have to argue.
Definitely been a sigh of relief if I had that in our national championship match.
Another little look here again. There you see her, Mia Kupras. Showing off the wheels as well. We'll show it to you one more time. Great drop shot. I love that play from Riasco.
Kupras just showing that fight we talked about yesterday. Sure. I mean, she's going to die on that court.
Absolutely, and again, early break point chances. She knows that was far from her best set of tennis in doubles. And this is the best way for Kupras to respond here. Quick start, look at 4-1. Again, when Georgia gets that Mel Riasco, point in, point out, as she works her way back from injury, they become that much more dangerous. Rally tolerance always on point for Riasco, who's very quick to admit, hey, I'm not the biggest indoor tennis fan.
just that shot tolerance from Riasco, setting up a deciding point. Get back into this match. I think to your earlier point, why this is a must-win for A&M. Riasco hasn't won a match in these championships. You want to kind of take advantage of that.
And even when she was at her healthiest, again, never the most predisposed to indoor success. Dipped at the feet. It's another break, so it's a double break, 4-1 lead for Mia Kupras at the number 3 spot. It's a quick start where they need it at that number 3 position. Meanwhile, it is all ice here on court number 4. Sigil Mert, sophomore, taking on Luciana Perez. Perez really struggled yesterday. Knocked out, what was it, 2-2? I believe by Oklahoma senior Emma Staker, but more importantly, that match was done in under an hour, and just, it's really hard to beat the grinding Perez that quickly. Fascinating to see how she bounces back today, dealing with just the weaponry Ice brings, right, Courtney?
Yeah, and to your point, again, Ice's game fits a lot better indoors, whereas we know Luciana Perez for being a junior French Open champion, right? Sure. That's clay court, that's slow, that's grindy tennis, that's not indoor tennis, so definitely curious to see how she responds here.
That's a response. Show it to you one more time here. I mean, the wheels from Perez just asks the right question. It's only a single break. So now we are on first set watch. A couple of 4s on the scoreboard here. Dasha's got a 4-1 lead at 1. Kupras that 4-1 lead at 3. Sure. When you talk about +1 tennis, serve +1, that is what people are referring to. Yep, first serve, +1 forehand to set the tone.
She's excellent at moving forward. She likes the ball. She's one half of an NCAA doubles champion for a reason, and we get to see it here. It's awesome. Just the way you wrote it up, Grusman.
Yeah, tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. So now game point chance for 5-2. Yeah, silly. And that's the concern if you're Texas A&M. That is the thing you are looking forward to most if you are the Georgia Bulldogs here on court number 4. It's the biggest weapon on the court. The serve, the +1 forehand of Mert. She's definitive with it as the sophomore 5-2 opening set lead. Over to court number 5 we go, as again 2 more courts here to introduce. Daria Smetanikov mid-deuce point. 2-1 lead as she takes on the senior Gigi Grant. Oh, it's ridiculous. Shot tolerance from Daria Smetanikov. Show you the replay of the pass one more time. Smetanikov, first of all, had Gigi side to side, and then Gigi finally finds an opportunity to attack. No success. Smetanikov through. By the way, these two faced off once last year in dual match play. I want to make sure I have the number right. Yeah, 6-1, 6-love victory for Gigi in that battle. Already more games on the board for Smetanikov as she's got the 3-1 lead. Over to court number 6 we go, our final introduction. And then we got to go chase some first set endings. Mert 3 points away from a 6-2 first set. Vidmanova serving 4-1 30 all, 4-1 deuce for Kupris. Actually, we are going to quickly go over to that 4-1 deuce as you see Sofia Rojas there. Apologies. Rojas now the 4-2 lead on Lexington Reed, but might this be all she wrote for set number 1 here on court number 3? So Kupris does indeed hold for 5-1. We got to race over to court number 4. As again, Sigil Mert 5-2 now, Love 30 as well. I'm going to have to use the triple box here in a moment. Yeah, that missed wide. You're going to challenge, of course.
Got to challenge.
You can't take them with you, right? 3%. They call her ice for a reason. Ice in the veins of a Sigil Mert. 6-2 set on 4. Courtney Colton. Huh?
I mean, the level we've been seeing from her, she finally was able to close out a match yesterday, and Perez just hasn't been able to really sink her teeth into this championships. And again, she's coming off a quick loss yesterday, so you wonder what impact that's having on her.
Yeah, meanwhile, we actually have to go to a split screen for the first time. The reason for it, I wanted to show you court 3 twice. No, 5-1 Vidmanova, and now she's 2 points away.
I think court 1's scoreline is maybe the most shocking.
By the way, set points here for Kupris, so we'll put her full screen as soon as that gets going. Court number 6, it's 5-2 Rojas. Maybe Georgia really just is that good.
You wonder if they take this match. You know, as Drake Bernstein texting head coach Brian Calvis of UNC saying, thanks for beating us at home. We kind of needed that.
Set points Vidmanova. I mean, would be the second 6-1 set I've seen Mary Stoyanova drop this tournament. Maybe the only 2 6-1 sets I've seen her drop, though, in her career. Just, I
don't know if that's a good thing, though, for Georgia, or does that make me a little nervous? Because we saw what happened the last time that happened.
Dasha, 6-1 Kupris. We're moving fast. That's 3 first sets already off the board, so we'll show you our 3 remaining first sets here quickly in a triple box. 2 for Georgia. They got court 1. They got court 4. The NCAA doubles champs, of course, Merton Vidmanova delivering. We've got first set 6, 2, and court number 5 remaining. Check in on those score lines now. You see everyone's close. Smetanikov 4-1. Kieran 5-3. And we go full screen. It is another set point on court 6. There you see Lexington Reed, the freshman. Again, it is a tough ask to jump into a defending national champions lineup. Well, there you see we're lining up with the coach. We'll have him here in a moment. Cannot wait to hear Coach Bay's thoughts on how this first hour has unfolded. I'm a little surprised.
I agree, Alex. It's not, when I was doing my little match calculus before, not how I would have envisioned.
We didn't get a single 4-all. Nothing 4-all in the first set. These teams are too close in level to have the sets look like this. But this shouldn't be a surprise. It's been the revelation of this National Indoor Weekend, Sofia Rojas. 6-2 first set on 6. We'll pop over to court number 2 for a moment. And as we do that, I know we're ready for Coach Bay. Hear his thoughts on these first few sets, how they've unfolded. How do they change your match calculus? Coach Bay, what you thinking about this first hour of singles?
High-level tennis out here, although the scoreboards are pretty lopsided. Not a lot of close scores, a lot of blowout sets, but the level's very high. Really tough down there at 4 and 6 with Merton Rojas doing a great job. Also, a big-time popcorn match at number 1 with Vidmanova dominating so far. Kieran has done an excellent job coming back from 3-love down, and it looks like Cooper's obviously is dominating, and she's having a little bit of synergy with her teammate next door at 5, so there's some great jobs on this side of the building. Got to get a little bit more help from the Aggies on this side of the building to be able to pull this off. There's most certainly a pathway for Georgia to get to 3, and that's all they need to get this title.
Very well said by the coach, Mark Bay. Again, a thank you to him for his contributions. Certainly elevating our broadcast here for today's championship. All right, well, that's something. Now, to Coach Bay's credit, it's fascinating how momentum in this sport works. Proximity, location, playing next to one another. I mean, Courtney Colton, did you feel that same sort of synergy he was discussing with your teammates wherever you were competing?
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but feel they're right next to you. You're in the, especially the people, I mean, to your immediate right or left, you kind of see how they're doing, and you can feed off the good, the bad, and both of these teams are really together teams. You can tell that they are friends with each other, they get along, and they want to compete for each other, so you kind of are not shocked to see when you see one match go and the other person next to them going as well.
So Lapata does hold 4-4-5. Still, Kieran will serve for a have-to-have. Aggie set on the other side of the change of ends. Meanwhile, let's go check back in on court number 1 in a moment. Dasha Vidmanova, 6-1 first set. That's stunning. That's just, again, you don't see Mary Stoyana drop sets like this very frequently. But what can you do when Dasha's dropping dimes?
When she is on, I mean, there's a reason she's number 1 in the country. I was about to say she's the best in the country. I'm like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Reigning NCAA singles champion. Opted not to play the doubles. Opted not to try and defend her title. made me sad because it meant no Triple Crown threat this year, but the career Triple Crown in play. There you see head coach Drake Bernstein, a few words for his junior Lapata. I'm sure the message is, hey, stay in the fight. Your teammates have your back right now, have theirs.
And she's such a good player to have their back. Again, she's so solid. She's never too high, never too low. She's just right where they want them to be.
That's the Mary Stoyana you expected to see more of. Inside the baseline, capitalizing on court positioning. What is going through the mind of associate head coach James Wilson? Just again, dogs racing. Quick first sets, 1-4-6. That's a path. A path to a national indoor championship. As we're going to go back to court number 2. Nicole Kieran serving for a must-have Aggie opening set. Yeah, that'll work. Ugh. I love it. And it just sounds a little different. Ball making contact as you see Tommy Milnikov. A few words for his Aggie junior, but what is that conversation? Head coach Drake Bernstein, associate head coach Jared Chaplin, who, by the way, he came from the golf course today, clearly. Shirt's still tucked in. Appreciate that. Appreciate the fits. Appreciate set points, 3 of them. Coming up here for Nicole Kieran.
One set point fought off by Lapata again. Kieran plays high risk, high reward. When it's good, it's great.
And sometimes, when it's not good, it's in the net?
It's not so great. No.
That's right off a line. All of a sudden, set points become deuce points, and that's the thing about Lapata. You think she's going to grind you down, or at least attempt to. Then she'll do something like that. It'll snap up the line.
Something she's improved so well in her time is the ability to strike a ball like that. So you're not just, hoping she just won't miss. She's going to attack you too. It puts the pressure on you.
Lapata breaks back for 5-all.
She's a rock.
So impressive is, by the way, Smetanikov 5-2 Aggies on court number 4. But we got to go over to court number 6. By the way, the most impressive part, Lapata, it might be as in good a shape, if not better, than any player in the country. She always looks slightly out of breath.
Always.
And she never is.
Right.
It's just to throw her opponents off.
Gives you a false sense of hope.
Exactly.
Like maybe, and then she does it again.
It's baiting you into thinking, oh, you thought you were going to outgrab? No. This is just for show. As again, it is all Sofia Rojas. 6-2, 2-love, 30-love. Breakpoint chances here. But we actually have to race over to court number 5. Reason for it, it's a set point. We don't want to miss it. Smetanikov, she got that early break on Gigi and just kind of run with it.
I mean, we were worried about Kupras and Smetanikov, right? That was one of our questions, is how are they going to respond? And they've clearly shown us they're just fine.
Yeah. Again, Smetanikov lost this head-to-head matchup 6-1, 6-love last year. You wonder if that's in the back of the mind. You remember a result like that, right, Courtney?
You definitely are hoping to repeat it. Yeah. There's a little part of you that's just like, can we just do that again?
Yeah, Smetanikov has her on a string. It is all on the racket right now of Daria Smetanikov. Gigi looks to her coach, Will Reynolds, says, do you think I should use a challenge here? He says, you can't take them with you. You might as well. No success. It's a second first set on the board for the Aggies. So again, 1 first set remaining. They're on a change of ends there. So I'm going to use that as the excuse we don't really need, but I'm going to take to go back over to court number 1. Vidmanova 6-1, 1-love lead. This was not on my bingo card.
That's the play you want to see from Stoyana. That's where she's her best, is being offensive and going through that Vidmanova forehand. Way to get herself on the board in this second set.
Absolutely. Just trying to establish a little different tempo, different tone here to start set number 2. But same story right now over on court number 6, where it is all Sofia Rojas. 6-2 for love. It's 8:03. This match started maybe 90 minutes ago.
I mean, Sofia Rojas is my unsung hero. If I get a vote for MVP, I'm putting it to Rojas. She has just been dominant. She's gotten better each match. She's answered the call for the Bulldogs. Super impressive.
Most outstanding player watch. Never too early. By the way, Lapata from set points down. She's now 2 points away from giving Georgia a 4th first set. That's better. And you might as well go for it, right?
Right. I mean, you just got to do something and get something going.
6-2 for love. Let's pop back over quickly to court number 2. Reason for that 30-all spot in Nicole Kieran's 5-6 service game. They're going to a breaker very quickly. We'll come back here to court number 1. I want to just pop in on 3. Up a set, of course, is Mia Kupris, but down a break here in set number 2. She's got break point chances right back. For what it's worth, not a deciding point, a break point, hand up, there we go. Again, 6-2, 4-1 on court number 6. We'll go check in on Rojas. We'll check in on the first set breaker on 2 as well. Frustrated Mia Kupris. It is just, again, worth asking, how much gas does she have left in the tank? That side-to-side rally.
I'm tired.
Yeah. What's it called? Lactic acid that builds up, right?
It does, yeah.
In the quads.
Do you start to feel it now?
Yeah, I was never athletic enough. I don't think. Acid-free. Big deciding point, though, here. Kupris breaks back.
There's that forehand.
Leans into it so well. Of course, the Aggies have to have level things in set number 2. So back over to 2 we go. First set breaker. Could be the back breaker for the Aggies here. Again, Kieran serve for the set 5-4. I believe she had 40-15, 3 set points, was unable to convert on any of them. Team's already down 3 first sets. Ooh. We got more time in this breaker very quickly. Over to court 4 we go. Here's why. Could be a little bit of a swing. Already Texas A&M guaranteed to need at least 1 3-set victory, right? They've dropped 3 first sets. Can the sophomore Lulu Perez be that person? Cold as ice. Breaks back for 2-all. Meanwhile, yes, it's a first set breaker on 2. Will it matter? Not with the pace Sofia Rojas is playing with. 6-2, 5-1.
It's absolute dominance here. Exactly the start that Georgia wants from any of their courts.
Heat check.
We haven't seen many of those missed. She's really liked her forehand this entire championships, and she's made plenty today. That's why she's up 6-2, 5-1.
The inside in over that highest part of the net. Speaks to the level to have the confidence to go for that ball. Take us to a quick split screen here. I want to show you again court number 2 where it's a 4-2 Nicole Kieran lead on the turn. It's a long change of ends on 2. Both these players taking a moment to do some scoreboard watching. Check in, of course.
And coaches tell you not to do it, but how can you not?
Yeah. They also tell you to diet. Tell you to get up for your 6 a.m. runs. A lot of ignored advice.
Don't tell Jeff McDonald.
Don't go out on Saturday after the match. Yeah, that's just ridiculous from Sofia Rojas. And you mentioned it earlier, all tournament team, most outstanding player has to be in strong consideration for both.
There's that forehand from Sofia Rojas, setting herself with a deciding point, match point for a 2-love lead.
Yeah, absolutely, and set points are cute. Kieran's got 4 more of them, but match point higher up in the order of operations, so full screen we go. has to be that good right now. Match point fought off by Lexington Reed. By the way, 7-6 first set to Nicole Kieran. Race over, show you a point on court number 4. It's another deciding point, this one on Mert's serve. So Perez breaks that deuce. Stoyana, a deuce point hold for 2-all. Kieran takes the set, the window's open.
We're back in this.
Aggie push has to start right now. It is 3 first sets apiece. Georgia, courts 1, 4, and 6. Aggies gets Aggies get courts 2, 3, and 5. There you see Nicole Kieran. Gel pack in hand, trying to stay loose. Here comes the water. A shout out to the athletic support staff for each of these teams. Zach Pullman of the ITA, he's on top of it, taking photos of this moment. We got to document it. It's history here. Either title number 7 for the Dogs, title number 1 for the Aggies at this indoor championship event. Excuse me, wrong button by me. Always an excuse to go to one. It's my default setting. But we go back over to 6. Serving for the match, Sofia Rojas. Yeah, that Rojas forehand, it's the weight of shot. It's different at this 6 spot.
Yeah, she just uses it so well. And again, credit to Lexington Reed for getting a little bit back in there, getting some looks. But Rojas doing an excellent job getting back into what she does so well. And that's that forehand from the ad side especially. Breakpoint chance for Lexington Reed now.
Stoyana now up a break 3-2 in that second set on 1 as well. It's the Aggie push. We're in the middle of it. Can they get it for a full hour though? Because they kind of need it. Rojas going to challenge there? No. And it's a double fault from the junior. So, Lexington Reed stays alive a little longer. 3-5 here. Mert now breaking Perez. They've traded, I think, 6 breaks in that second set for 3-all. We're going to a split screen. And as we do, we want to bring in the coach, Mark Bay. What's his read? About an hour of singles in the books. Coach, what are you seeing out there here in the Combe Tennis Center?
Is heating up. Texas A&M is showing a lot of pride. They are not going down without a fight. Most certainly there's a path for probably 3 points, and that's all Georgia needs. The fans are really being treated to some great tennis. How you guys like the tennis out here? These guys love the tennis out here. They love what they're watching. I feel like for sure We know down there at 6, Rojas is the way she's ready to close, but there's a lot of fight in the dog down there. If you look at what Perez is doing, you look at what Kieran's done coming back and winning that tiebreaker, and obviously Perez is Smetonic down there at 5 for sure, keep battling, and I think there's a synergistic attitude that's bleeding through all the players. They have a lot of championship pride here. They're the national championships for a reason, and most certainly not going to go down without a incredible fight till the end. Looking forward to seeing what happens here in the next 20 minutes, but right now Georgia for sure is in dominant position to close.
I love that, man. Love the enthusiasm, the passion, the smile on the face of both Coach Mark Bay and all the fans. One of the best in the business. We are going to go back to the split screen over to court number 1. Mary Stoyana has something you never want to see, the number 3 player in the country. She's got a little mo, and that's why Vidmanova here to get to love 40, an opportunity to break right back. That's what the vets do. Everyone gets broken. It's how you respond, and Vidmanova says, no, this is not a lull.
Well, and again, you expect Mary Stoyana to make a push, right?
Sure.
We saw it in the other time. The only time we've seen her lose a 6-1 set. She came back and responded hard, so.
Sophia Rojas, almost a half volley of a forehand. Simply stunning, but to your point, it's not just the result itself, it's the message it sends to the team. Talking to Mia Kupras, Lexington Reed, after their victories, they view Kieran and Stoyana up top as their anchors, and you see one of your anchors down 6-1, 3-all, as the double fault there gives the break back. Dogs have the mo, but a moment here for Lexington Reed. Game point chances for 4-5. It's one thing to get to the finish line, it's another to cross it, isn't it, Courtney?
Sure is, and that's what makes this so hard, is to actually cross that finish line. Absolute credit to Lexington Reed for getting back in this match.
So 5-4 Reed asking the question again of Rojas. We're going to jump over to court number 3. As you see Mia Cooper, 6-1, 4-3 lead. Oh, we got to jump over to court number 4. As it's a let court deciding point ace. Make a mental note. Bounces like that in a national championship, Courtney. I wish you all could see Courtney's face. Heartbroken for Perez.
I'm just glad I missed the lets being in play during my time. We had no-ad my senior year. I loved me a no-ad moment, but if that had happened to me, I'd be like, I'm done.
Let courts drive you crazy now. Couldn't agree more. As, by the way, we're going to race back over court number 6. Sophia Rojas out of the chair. She will once again serve for the match. Going to keep us in a split screen just through this Riasco service game. Although, truth be told, we may stay in a split either way, as Kupras breakpoint chances, if she breaks, all of a sudden she'll be serving for the match.
If she can get that 1 before Rojas can get that 2, it's a great place for A&M to be in. Great response from her after a dogfight last night. I mean, just absolute battle. She's going to challenge that.
No chance. Yeah, it's an overrule. No,
it's definitely a will. You just want it to be out.
The problem right now is, where's the third set coming? if you're Texas A&M, you need to find a third. Everything progressing fairly straightforward. I guess Stoyana, Vidmanova, like, I mean, if you're an Aggie fan, you'll ride with Mary Stoyana to the death. She is your Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Physicality. Come on.
Ooh, we are digging in here.
Lung busting stuff. Rojas once again 2 points away. Definitive breakpoint chance here for Kupras. Well, the movement on display is stunning. Kupras breaks, she'll serve for the match. Meanwhile, over to 6, it is match point. Sofia Rojas. Yeah, you could probably put her on the all-tournament team. Sofia Rojas making her presence felt. New to the rivalry. First on the scoreboard in singles. Dance for us, Sofia.
She hit him with the gritty, am I right?
6-2, 6-4. Rojas takes it. We got to race over to a couple of places. In fact, we got to go to a split screen. We'll smile after the match. In the meantime, you see the battle on court number 3. Oh, Drake Bernstein. Start and stop ability still there for the former Bulldog. Meanwhile, deciding point goes to Vidmanova for 4-3. Perez Mert in a tricky spot as well. So we are going to stay in the split screen. I'll take us over to 4. Again, Mia Cooper is serving to get the Aggies on the board. Will it ultimately matter? Not if they can't find a third set somewhere. Kieran setting a break 7-6-2 love. Does anyone want to go the distance today? If you're a Georgia fan, you hope heck no.
Nope.
You love straight sets. Even if they win their first sets, fine, we'll win ours.
You could see Texas A&M turn 2 first set deficits into third set, so we know they can do it.
As you see, Perez got a rare hold on the board for 4-all. Kupras, again, 2 points away from an Aggie point on the board. Great rally tolerance from Riasco. Back to a split screen we go. Obviously, we get to a match point. We'll go full screen to it, but going to bring us actually back to court number 1. Riasco breaks back. Match extended for at least one more game on court number 3. See a frustrated look on the face of Mia Kupra. She knows how valuable that quick point may have been. Stay in the split screen as I bring us over to 4. Sophomore Mert. Pivotal 4-all service game in the second set. For testing on body language, it looks still pretty confident from these Aggies. No panic setting in. A hold that love from Stoyana is a response.
It's a great game by Stoyana to play in definitive, absolutely what she needed there.
Take us back over to court number 3.
Riasco here to play. Looking to extend those rallies.
Game point chances here for Mert. Again, 4-all on court number 1. By the way, we might be 5 minutes from the finish line. Just to brace all of you all for where we are right now, and I've tried to avoid the triple box as much as possible. I can't just for the moment because 4-1. That's the path for Georgia. A good 5 minutes. They can move their flight forward. They can get back to Athens as champs here tonight. Ice holds for 5-4. Riasco finds a line. 5 or 50, watch. 5 or 50. Chris Hallioris in the chat informing me how foolish I am. There are still at least 20 teams undefeated. Just to go back to our earlier thread in Division I women's college tennis right now, but none of them can pull off the sweep the way A&M could have with a victory here tonight, undefeated. Anyways, just a silly thought. Thanks, Chris, for the distraction.
Someone's got to keep you honest.
No. Oh. It's a net cord to remember. Stoyana right there, quietly a break point as Riasco holds. We go full screen for maybe the most important single point of the match thus far. Yes, there's a lot of points in a battle like this, but 4-all deciding point in a match the Aggies need to extend. Lock in, folks, here it comes. That's what she does best, in a little English. In the roar of Mary Stoyana, smile on the face for both she and Coach Wilson. Stoyana will serve to force the pivotal third set as we head back over to court number 4. Luciana Perez serving to extend her match. We saw Riasco just extend hers. That's why it's the 5 or 50 rule. You're either 5 good minutes or 50 minutes of fight away. Obviously, A&M defending national champions. They say we'll choose the latter path.
They said we got time.
Yeah.
We saw that last night. Obviously, we'll get back to Mary on court number 1 here in a moment. Actually going to go to a split screen 30-all in the 5-all service game of Mia Kupris. Got a little complicated, huh? As we know and love. She was serving for this match 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Now Riasco now with breakpoint chances. All of a sudden for 6-5 as, of course, Stoyana is serving for her set. We'll get back to it here momentarily. But it is a Mel Riasco break of serve. Yeah, disbelief in the face of the junior Kupris. Riasco will serve to force a third. A little left court luck this time for Vidmanova. Frustrated as missing the return in the net. So 5-all on 4. 4-3 Smetana second set. Again, Georgia definitive in doubles. 6-1 win at the 2 spot. You see bottom of your screen, Vidmanova, Riasco separating themselves at the end for 7-5. 6-2, 6-4 win for junior Sophia Rojas of Georgia. Everything else, though, too close to call. Three points, Mary Stoyana at the net. 3 passes from Dasha. This is starting to look a little bit more like the match we were expecting earlier. Talk me through your thoughts. What are you thinking right now, Courtney? What are you watching? These second sets, can UGA close these out? I mean, again, 4 on court 1. If Georgia can get off the court quick there, because you don't want Mary Stoyan in the third. So you want to get off the court quick there, and you want Mert to close hers out. But at the very least, you want to get that 3 on the board. It starts to become dicey, especially with Mallory Oscar now up 6-5 on 3. You know, keeping an eye on there to see if that could become a split set.
Yeah, this could very well be a dagger. Riasco turning things around. Vidmanova not just breaking back, but that was a break at love.
At love.
Ouch.
And I mean, Stoyana's still playing her way. Like, she's still coming forward, and Dasha said, I'll just pass you. Not something that's easily done to Mary Stoyana.
No. And she made those passes look so simple, too.
Great response from Mert in this game. Again, after
Vidmanova finding lines. By the way, Smetanikov's been excellent. 6-2, 4-3 lead. We haven't shown her at all. It's looked exactly like you think. When Daria's on the front foot, she hits as good of a ball as anyone.
She's been rock solid down there, just putting in her work, putting her head down, going to work.
Yeah, the problem is it won't matter because, again, if Texas A&M doesn't win a second set on either of these two courts, pack the bags, start the plane, this indoors is over. Ice holds for 6-5. Jump quickly over to court number 3. All right, finally Dasha misses a pass.
Just for a little context on one, Stoyana broke and then lost 6 points in a row. That was the first point she's won. So credit to Vidmanova there.
I just cannot imagine facing someone who can do those two things back to back.
Right.
That's disgusting. Look at these two forehands, high and heavy to lull you to sleep.
And then boom.
That's just...
You think you're safe, you think you're okay.
That's so silly. It's just ridiculous. How good is the tennis on three? Kupris breaks back. Tie break to come, but we race over to court number 4 as Mert is 2 points away. Dasha holds 4-6-5, so Stoyana will serve to stay alive in the set. Now feels like the perfect moment. Let's check in with our coach. Coach Bay, what are you seeing out on court as we head into crunch time here in Chicago?
I think there's 2 words to describe these second sets: pride and fight. What a fight. Lasco at number 3 probably should have been out a while ago and just comes roaring back and is up 6-5 in the second. Down there in the end, Grant probably should have been closed out a while ago, is still battling. Look at Mary Stoyana at 1. You thought Vidmanova was probably going to be done probably 20 minutes ago, the way the mood of this match was going, but the fighting, the battling, the net appearances at 1, it has now become the popcorn match we wanted at number 1. And over at number 4 singles, what a fight. Mert has been on top of this match over and over, but Perez keeps breaking back and keeps breaking back and bringing it back to even. So we've got a lot more tennis to go. The ironic thing about these college tennis matches is sometimes it could be 4-0 and you don't really realize at home that it was a 4-3. This match right here could be 4-0 or could be 4-3 for either team. It is swinging on that type of teeter-totter balance. I'm looking forward to the end. The crowd's looking forward to the end. Let's see what happens in this national championship.
He's got fans.
They're into it.
Match points ice. Gonna stay in the split screen just because Vidmanova closing in as well. First point Mary. Gigi Grant breaking 4-5-4, so it actually looks like she might force a third as well. The dogs, you can smell it. That apple pie in the air, you can almost taste that championship in your mouth as well.
It's so within reach, and they've made such a good push here.
Now overcooked, didn't move her feet. So first match point fought off. Full screen to court number 4 for this match point. Again, it's cold as ice. Icing Mert, the sophomore, 6-2-7-5. She knocks out Luciana Perez. She puts the dogs a point away. We'll show you the replay one more time. Look at the outer third action. On this ice, backhand clinched with authority. So to a split screen we go. A couple of match points, second set tie breaks. We cannot afford to miss. Dasha Stoyana. It would help if I clicked the right court, right? As Kupris tries to close in. She's almost there. 5-1 on the change of ends. This is it. Court number 1. Grant, by the way, she gets to a set point, we'll pop to it quickly. Now you're starting to get the requisite energy, the roars you'd come to expect from Mary Stoyanna. She knows her team's fates are hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, it is a match point, Mia Kupris. As Gigi Grant set point on court number 1. Excuse me, 5. No shutout today. Aggies on the board.
And what a response from Kupris. A battle yesterday and comes out just roaring start. Riaska with the push. Kupris able to close it out, get the Aggies on the board.
All right, and again it becomes, look, if Mary Stoyanna wins this tie break, we got another hour.
You better strap in.
Yeah. Wouldn't have it any other way, by the way. The fates of this match hanging between those two. As Daria Smetanikov says, no, I'm not going the distance yet. Oh, little sneak attack behind Gigi. Forcing a third set. The pathways continuing to expand for the Dogs as Dasha. 4-2 lead on the turn. We go full court to 1 for the rest of this breaker.
You're Dasha, though. You're feeling a little better seeing Gigi with that split sets. Just takes a little edge off. Takes a little bit of that pressure off.
And there is so much history between these two. The two top players in the country. I don't care what the numbers say. 1-1-1 in the team's 4 matchups last season. Drama in all of them. Fitting a national championship on the line between these two today. Defense to offense. It's the new gear that has Dasha Vidmanova as your reigning NCAA singles champion, your current #1 in the country. The senior from the Czech Republic, 2 points away. It's undercooked. 4 match points for the Dogs. drop lob combo down match point. Are you kidding me, Courtney?
You just saw my jaw was on the floor.
That's just silly. Two match points fought off. Can she find a third somehow? And it's Dasha and the Dogs dashing through the finish line. 6-1, 7-6, the #1 player in the country delivers national indoor title number 7 for the Georgia Bulldogs. A remarkable performance punctuated with a forehand to remember. It's doubles, it's 6, it's 4, and then it's the top dog, Dasha Vidmanova, putting the Dogs on top. 6-1, 7-6, Georgia, your 2025 National Indoor Champions. Courtney Colton, your reaction to a fantastic National Championship final.
They've absolutely gotten better each and every round, and what a way to cap it off with Vidmanova getting the clinch in the battle I think we were all anticipating in this matchup, and Georgia just too good. They close out all their matches. They get a split set on 5 from Gigi Grant. Just real credit to this Georgia team. Doubles got better each and every round. They built off that momentum. Couldn't have written it better if I was Coach Drake Bernstein myself.
Oh, and you see the sorrow on the face of these Aggies. And look, big picture, sometimes a loss like this can be the galvanizing force you're looking for, right? Early in the season, yes, you made a national final, but yes, there is a team on the level. And certainly, given the success the Dogs had against the Aggies last season, they knew to watch for this Georgia team, but this time it's Georgia. All that's left to do is put on the championship clothing, right? The gear you've now earned moving forward. It was a 4th match point that did the job, but it's match point number 4 that delivers the Dogs, again, national indoor title number 7. Let's go courtside to the coach, Mark Bays. Now, speaking with, national indoor championship winning coach, it's Georgia's Drake Bernstein.
Well, obviously, it's never easy, but it most certainly must feel good to get this national indoor title, another one for the Dogs. How does it feel?
It's exciting. Team came out here and battled start to finish. Texas A&M put a heck of a fight up. Didn't make anything easy on any of these courts, saving match points here. But just so proud of this group, this team. Seeing them put their hats on makes every day worth it.
Obviously, there's a lot of ways to get to 4. It doesn't matter which way you get to 4, but it's got to feel good to know that you got your top ace, #1 in the country, with the balls in her hands to serve it out there to close the deal.
Yeah, thankful that last shot went in. It was getting dicey, but she's just tough as could be, and you see it in singles and doubles all week. Again, so it's a full team effort, top to bottom, a lot to be proud of. Happy to be bringing this trophy back to Athens.
And it's so important, again, in a duel like this, to have everybody fighting. Riasco didn't let it go, and Grant didn't let it go. Everybody kept the duel hot and going until the job got done. Everyone does their part. It's a total team effort, and obviously now a little bit of revenge from the national championship. It's a different national championship, but a darn good national championship. Congratulations to the Dogs. It's got to feel great. I know that Jeff someplace is back at home with his outfit on.
Yeah.
We'll open it up. How do you feel now in terms of cementing your personal legacy and your stamp, the Drake Bernstein stamp on the Georgia program?
None of this is about me or anything. It's about this team. It's just validation of the work that we put in, moving in the right direction every day. Just proud of this team and how far they've come. And our athletic director here, I mean, at University of Georgia, it's safe to say that tennis means more. Thrilled that Josh could make the trip, and again, thrilled for this team.
Well, you know what? It's time to celebrate. The girls are much nicer than football. There's no Gatorade baths out here, but I tell you, I was really, really impressed from start to finish. Congratulations, well-deserved championship.
Thank you. Good.
Thank you all for competing in the 2025.
Well, there you hear it. The Go Dogs from Drake Bernstein punctuating a remarkable run for the Georgia Bulldogs. 4-1 national indoor champions, their 7th in program history, their first since 2019, and another national championship for head coach Drake Bernstein, still in year just year two in the top job at Georgia. I think it's safe to say they made the right hire in Athens. Meanwhile, let's hand things over to our host, Claire Pollard, for the start of our 2025 trophy presentation.
I just want to say a quick few remarks. First of all, I want to thank all the Bull kids. Please give them a round of applause. I think it made the tournament special, hopefully for you guys. I know it did for all the players. I'd like to thank the officials. Not always a fun job, but you know, with the electronic line calling, I think you probably went up in popularity this weekend. And then I'd just like to thank all the fans for coming out. You know, I think even tonight, without the Cats playing, it was really a good atmosphere. And you know, please come and support all college tennis wherever you're from. Come, it's a great product. These ladies played so hard. Their level is so outstanding. Hopefully, we can make it something that everyone comes out and sees. Thanks a lot. Dave?
And now, please welcome ITA President and CEO David Mullins to present the trophies to each team.
Thanks, Alex. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. On behalf of myself, the ITA Board of Directors, our ITA staff, our coaches, officials, and student athletes, really want to thank Claire and Northwestern for putting this event together. University of Illinois, obviously they're not here today, but they worked tirelessly over the last few months with our staff. I have to give a shout out to Liz Bothwell, Zach Pullman, who spent many months preparing for this event. So thank you so much. Big round of applause for Northwestern's athletic department. Yeah, also want to thank the officials, ball kids, Anthony and Andrew for leading the officiating crew. You guys did an amazing job this weekend. Long matches, really long days, so appreciate your efforts too. Thank you. And then lastly, I want to thank Cracked Rackets up there, our streaming partners. Always a pleasure to have you guys at our events, broadening this event to more people across the country, across the world, getting more eyeballs on our sport. But lastly, just want to congratulate both teams making the final. Many of you know that these teams played against each other at the NCAAs last May. It's really hard to sustain this level of success. So congratulations, Mark and Coach Drake. All the work you guys did over the summer and the off season, bringing your teams to the very top of the game again, challenging for national championships. So hope you guys can get some rest. I know you're about to dig into SEC play and look forward to seeing you guys compete again later this year. So Mark, can we start with you?
At this time, Mark Weaver, please step forward and accept the 2025 ITA National Women's Team Indoor Championship Finalist Trophy.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate the Georgia Bulldogs y'all played very well today. Played the big points a little bit better than we did today. And yeah, what a great rivalry we've had the last kind of 4 or 5 years. Really just pushing each other, playing for championships every season. It seems like the last, in the SEC at least, the last 4 or 5 years, and the national titles here the last couple of years. So appreciate all that y'all are doing for college tennis, and yeah, I'm very proud of my girls. You know, this is the best we've ever done this early part of the season, making the national indoors. We for sure came here to try to win it all, but very proud of my group for making the finals. Great job by my coaching staff. I got first-year coaches here at Texas A&M, James and Tommy. Just want to thank y'all for all of y'all's hard work, and Joe and Nick as well. But yeah, great work by the ITA, Crack Rackets, Northwestern, and Illinois. You know, we're always trying to find ways to make our sport better, and I think we've done an excellent job this season. Appreciate the crowd coming out. Giga Maggies.
Great. And now we ask that Drake Bernstein to step forward and accept the 2025 ITA National Women's Team Indoor Championship Trophy. Congratulations to Georgia, your 2025 ITA Division I National Women's Team Indoor Champions.
Yeah, definitely want to echo what Mark said here. You guys have made us better, definitely over the last 4 years. Got some new faces on the coaching staff. You guys are doing a terrific job. There's a lot of players on this team that are improved versus last year, and thanks you know, for making us better too. We'll look forward to doing it again at your place in a couple of months here. Got to start off, I got a wife at home with 3 children, one of them being 1 month old, and I have to thank her for taking care of the fort for this long week here. Before I get going too long. But also thanks to Northwestern, Claire, Dave, all of you put on a wonderful event here. We appreciate you putting the resources to put a product out here that's worth getting this kind of attendance for, even if the host isn't here. Officials, your jobs are a little easier this week. You didn't have to hear from us too much, but we appreciate you guys and putting in the work. I know you have some long weeks ahead of you too coming up, but thanks for all that you do. Ball kids, obviously Northwestern. Josh Brooks, our athletic director. I don't know many ADs that are making the trip to come see their team play in the finals of National Indoor, so we appreciate you, all the support you give to our programs, and you know, lastly, this team, the way that you guys fought all week, we came here and we wanted to see what this team, this new Georgia team was all about. I think we got some good answers. We have some things to go back to work on in Athens, but really proud of you all and the performance, not just tonight, but the whole week. And of course, thanks to Kaylee on our athletic training staff, keeping us on 2 feet, and Willie and Chaps for all the homework we did leading into this. So thanks again to everybody that put this on. Great event, and we'll see you soon, Aggies.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the 2025 ITA National Women's Team Indoor Championships. Thanks again to Illinois Northwestern, Crack Rackets, Play Replay, ITA officials, the ball kids, and all of the players and coaches for their participation in this year's tournament. The championships will return to Northwestern and Illinois next year. We look forward to seeing all of you again in 2026.
Well, we certainly look forward to being back here in 2026 as well. Again, as you see, it's photo time. That's the last thing we wrap up here at these Division I Women's National Team Indoor Championships. It is all celebration, of course, for these dogs. So thoroughly earned champions again. So as again, they take their national championship winning photos. #1 overall Coming into the tournament, they'll leave number 1 as well as, again, Alex Gruskin, Courtney Colton here. She's helped me steer the ship every day of these National Indoor Championships. Courtney, you think we're walking away with the right champion?
I think so. Again, they've improved every match. They've been so impressive. They rebounded from a tough UNC loss at home and really answered the question of, do they still got it? And they're not even healthy. They're not even a fully healthy lineup.
That's the craziest part. You're absolutely right. No Alex Vecic. No Mine Narundorn. Yet national champions once again for the first time in 6 seasons. And again, congratulations to Drake Bernstein. A year and a half into the job, he's almost won everything you can win. Singles, doubles, indoors. Just the granddaddy of them all awaits. That spring championship, and certainly as these dogs continue to get healthier, that championship will become clearer and clearer in sight. Again, doubles point dominant at that number 2 position from the start, right? 6-1 win. Gigi, who played with someone whose name right now is slipping from my thank you, Lapata, slipping from my brain. They won that set faster than, again, you didn't even realize we had started the doubles, and they had already won that set. Then it's just how they started those first sets. 6-2 from courts 4 and 6. Mert, Rojas, excellent. And you have to ask, will Sofia Rojas be your most outstanding player of the tournament? A very strong case to do so, of course. We know how good Dasha Vidmanova is. She's standing courtside with our coach, Mark Bay. Let's hear the number 1 player in the country's reflection on a national championship well-earned.
Well, we're with the woman of the hour, Dasha Vidmanova. How does it feel to close the deal on a national championship for Georgia?
I mean, it feels amazing. I don't even have words to describe. I mean, it's a great feeling. And to be the last one to clinch, I was very nervous. Don't even remember the points, but it's a great feeling to do it with this team.
And to play Mary Stoyana, obviously one of the top players in the country, in a very, very big anticipated match, and to come out and put a big win in the first set, and then everything gets a little close. She comes fighting back, but you're able to get it done. Her coming and rushing you at the net a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we played each other at least 10 times, I think. We played in the conference. We played NCAAs indoors last year as well, so we know each other very well. So I knew it was going to be a tough match, and the first set I played really well, but I knew it's not going to be easy. She's not going to give up, so it was just about staying in there. It was a fight all the way till the breaker, and then we had a lot of matches where she came back from match points down, so I got a little bit tight there at the end, but I just went for it. So I mean, it was a good match, a lot of nerves, but yeah.
It was a big serve +1, but you know what? You make your first serve, you spun it body, you didn't go for the ace, and you look for your forehand, and that's a good lesson for many to learn. Obviously, you had the presence of mind to do that at a big moment, so congrats to you. Congrats to Georgia and to the Dogs, and obviously you're bringing the title back to Athens. Congratulations, and obviously best of luck in the SEC season and everything else going beyond it.
Thank you. Go Dogs.
All right, you guys, that's a wrap.
All right, there you hear it. When Coach Bay says it, you know it's true. It is a wrap. Again, Alex Gruskin, Courtney Colton here. We're going to be joined by the coach, Mark Bay, in our booth here in a moment as well. Again, all that's left to do, it's a photo shoot. It's the best feeling in all of tennis. You name the poses, you name the configurations, whatever it is you're looking for, these dog players would be more than welcome. One for the ITA website, one for the Georgia website, a couple for the alumni back home. And by the way, speaking of those alums back home, we couldn't do what we do here at Cracked Racquets without the enthusiasm, without the support we have gotten from all of you college tennis fans. It is so thoroughly appreciated, and it's what these athletes deserve. The quality of this product, it's never been better. It's our job now to put it in front of as many faces as possible, and that's why you heard every coach, Claire, Dave, everyone in that award ceremony, the message synchronized across the board. Support college tennis. How can you do that? Go to your local matches, wherever they may be. If it's within an hour, you don't have an excuse. Drive there, I promise you won't regret it. Of course, on the other side, if you're tuning in at home, you're international, whatever it may be, then of course, as always, tune in to our broadcast. We've got so much content ahead, including next weekend, as we continue to rock and roll Men's Indoors Media Day. It's less than 36 hours away. Like, we are that close to the start of another national indoor championship. Of course, before we get there, we want to come to our broadcast booth one more time and show you again myself, Courtney Colton, the coach, Mark Bay, all up here in the booth, all ready to celebrate as what an indoor championship it was. And Coach, I want to start with you. You kind of nailed it. The final score in this match, we'll say 4-1. It didn't feel like that. Like, if Mary Stoyano wins that second set breaker, we're still out there playing. We probably still have at least another 30 minutes to go, and yet Dogs did just enough. What did you see out there? What do you think allowed Georgia to separate here today?
I feel Georgia was able to stomach the nerves in the beginning of the doubles point. Definitely at number 1 doubles. They could have lost that one. That could have tipped the scales and had it going down to 3. In singles, for sure, it's nice with Rojas and Mert being so dominant all tournament long and being able to kind of extend the lead and put the scoreboard pressure on. For sure, Texas A&M came roaring back. Kieran was rocking and rolling at 2. Obviously, Cuprez was close to closing the door, wasn't able to, and I think that the effort from Grant and also Riasco to just keep those matches hot and keep that scoreboard spaced was a really big difference, which allowed, obviously, Vidmanova to close the door there. And she said she's had a bunch of nightmares with Stoyana saving match points against her, and she just took a deep breath. But I loved how she went body and drew a forehand and then went for the big +1. She didn't hope for an ace and let her nerves get to her, because often that happens in a big point in a big moment. So hats off to them. But I feel like in a match like this, in a rematch where they're wanting to beat the national champions, they actually came out and did it. They took care of the doubles. They won in key positions, but still were able to do just enough to get over the finish line, and congrats to them.
No, it's excellent analysis, and I'm really glad you pointed out the Gigi part of the equation, the Riasco part of the equation. Neither of them is going to end up with a W on the scoreboard. In fact, Riasco, the 1 point A&M's able to earn, right, as Mia Cooper's that straight set win at 3. But, to your point, Coach Bay, she served for that set, up 6-5. You had Gigi Grant forcing a third, and it just eases the burden of all these Georgia Dogs, Dasha in particular, having seen those first 3 match points come and go, to know, okay, my teammates are still in this fight as well. It's not all on my shoulders. The question, of course, next is where do we go from here? And that's what I want to ask you, Courtney Colton. Again, for each of these teams, let's start first with the Aggies. Tough loss, but again, they don't even have an indoor facility on campus. They make the final of this event. They get their first look at the Dogs. What's the message from Coach Weaver? What's the as we looking forward for these Aggies, what's the message you'd be sending to them?
We've seen them being battle tested, and that's been the most important thing for this championships for them, is that they've been battle tested. They've come out on the better side of it more often than not. You didn't get this one. Not a big deal. We go back to the drawing board. We get back to work. We got SEC play starting literally and after indoors, we go right into it, right? So it's not a lot of time to sulk on it. We just get back to work.
Yeah, and you think about that SEC, Georgia, A&M, Oklahoma, Texas, Auburn. You could argue all 5 of those teams finish in the top 8, Coach Bay. So on the other side, if you're Georgia, what's the message from Coach Bernstein? How do you make sure this team doesn't rest on its laurels?
Well, I think you just said it right there, not resting on your laurels. I'm always quoted saying proud and not satisfied. That's something that I, for sure, and it's a Dick Gould statement. It's a lot of, whenever you hear a Super Bowl speech at the end, everyone's always sort of coming with that mantra, and there's plenty going down the line from all the matches to learn from. For sure, they were able to get off the court quickly against Virginia last night, and that helped. Fresher legs and being comfortable playing the earlier match allowed them to get off to a great start, but still have enough to get over the finish line. I think going to the outdoor season, you're going to have to make some adjustments with the tennis. They have some strengths in their team with Mert's serve and Vidmanova's power to be able to dominate some indoors. I think they have an indoor facility there. Obviously, they won this championship in 2019, so this is something that they're not shocked that they did, but I think it's something that's nice that they did, because they weren't able to get over the hump in May and win that national championship, and this just wets the stem and says, hey, you know what, this is something we're capable of. Now let's go on through this SEC season, go through the the Purple Hearts of battling through that and seeing if we can come out standing there. And then ultimately that's going to give that last push and also frame of reference to know going into the NCAA is what exactly you need to do.
No, it's amazing to think that, again, this team is down 2 starters, right, in Vecic, in Narundorn. They did not look good in a doubles point against Northwestern to start this weekend's play. Heck, they came into this tournament fresh off a 4-3 loss to UNC. So I think if you're Coach Bernstein, the message will be, to your point, proud but not satisfied. There is still work to be done. This team, unequivocally, they're good enough to win a national championship. A lot, though, has to go right between now and May for that to happen. So certainly the Dogs, the number 1 team to beat moving forward, but a lot of really good teams. Going to get a look at them throughout the course of our regular season. And, again, what a weekend it is. What a national indoors it was. I offer you, Courtney Colton, final thoughts on everything we learned from these last 5 days in Illinois.
Got a lot of good national contenders coming up. And it's about to be a really exciting season, especially SEC play. And I'll get to see a lot of these teams come by Vanderbilt, so I'm really excited to get to see them again, get to see them outdoors. It's going to be a good season.
It is going to be a fun one. Coach Bay, any final thoughts?
I just think that college tennis is a great product. I feel that the national indoors is the preview of all previews before you get into the regular season of how things are going to be played, how I think all the top teams are performing. I don't even have an idea right now. If you gave me a pen and paper, how I would write out the rankings now. If you said right now, make the top 7, I would be way, because there's been that much parity and been that many people showing that they're that good. So I love the fact that that's what the message is coming out of here and giving everybody that reason that they can actually be a champion, be a contender, but also have reason to go back to work and get better.
Absolutely. And again, watching that work, watching how these teams get better, that's the best part of every year. We're looking forward to doing that over the next few months across our various Cracked Racquets broadcasts. Speaking of which, Courtney, this is where you do us part. Obviously, we loved having you here for the week. Coach Bay, you're stuck with us for another week as you're going to be joining us on the trip down to Texas for the men's national indoors. By the way, sneak in here real quickly. Our super producer, Daniel Westoff, is, again, without him, of course, nothing you see possible. There it is, his smiling face that finally the airtime he deserves. A shout-out to Daniel Westoff. He's not here in Chicago. A shout-out, of course, to Dalton Thieneman. A shout-out to our intern, Owen Alderman, here on site with us as well. Takes a village to put together a broadcast like this, particularly a week of broadcasts, 2 sites wide, 12-hour days. We wouldn't have it any other way here at Cracked Racquets. So, of course, a thank you to the entire crew. A thank you to the ITA, the teams at Northwestern, Illinois, our officials, our volunteers. And then last but not least, again, all of you college tennis fans, you all matter. We are fighting for this sport right now. We know the quality has never been better. We got to shine the brightest spotlight possible on it. The way you do that, again, attend matches in person, and of course, make sure you're tuned into our streams all week long, all year long, whether it be here on Cracked Racquets YouTube channel, whether it be on ESPN Plus, wherever you have the opportunity to find college tennis, make sure you watch it, make sure you support it moving forward. With that said, for the fantastic Courtney Colton, Mark Bay to my right, super producer Daniel Westoff, and intern Owen Alderman to my left, I can't speak anymore. It's time to sign off. And for everyone who contributed to our broadcast here this week, I'm your host, Alex Gruskin. You've been watching the 2025 Division I Women's National Team Indoor Championships exclusively here on the Cracked Racquets YouTube channel. We will see you all on Thursday for the start of Media Day.
The players, we pretty much know them, so I guess we just mostly need to focus on us and what we do good, just know our strengths and play together as a team, starting with doubles and singles too. And then again, it's going to be a tough match. They're a good top 10 team, so it's going to be a good competition. So yeah, just enjoy the match and hope for the best.
I think it's going to be a hard match. They showed this week that they're willing to fight. They're not going away. So I think it's going to be interesting. We are definitely need to be ready to go from point number 1 just do it for each other, work hard, and keep doing the little things we do in normal days to try to give ourselves the best chance.
If we're fortunate enough to be playing on Tuesday, we'll worry about that then.
It will it will be really cool. We put a lot of work every day in the practice in Athens, so it would just be a really good moment, like for me and my teammates. Just enjoy and just, it's the hard work we put every day, and it will be the result.
Yeah, it would mean a lot. We did have a good success in a lot of tournaments, but personally never won indoors. I think we made it to the final one of the years, but to win the whole thing, obviously it's a different feeling, and to experience that my senior year with my teammates would be a very, very good experience. So there's a lot to play for.
And, yeah, very pleased with how we handled the pressure situations out there. A lot of tension amongst all the courts, a lot of close points, a lot of close sets, and very happy with how we manage all the nerves out there.
Kind of know how we perform in those big moments, and we know that we can really get over the line in those pressure situations. So I think just kind of believing all the way till the end, playing tough point after tough point, and just kind of enjoying it, using our teammates, having fun, kind of helped us get through that one for sure.
I think just the same mentality we had yesterday and that we bring to every match, just fighting hard, like doing our best, like playing every point and having great energy, which I know we're going to do, and just pumping each other up. And yeah, I have a lot of confidence that we'll be able to bring